starting point here for you guys to talk this through with Blair and Pimp is that Fnatic did not look good yesterday. Spirit certainly continued to perform pretty well despite the loss they just had. It was obviously coming with the caveat, but Fnatic really need to bring their A game in a matchup like this, because there is a world where I can see Godsent taking advantage of it.
What is going on with this Fnatic lineup right now? It's ridiculous, because they were doing so well in the beginning of this Corona period. They were winning the Pro League, playing some solid Counter-Strike, really doing well. Coming into Road to Rio, I think everyone expected them to continue that path, but as of recently, the past 5 games, 6 games, 7 games, Fnatic are not playing up to the level we saw them do in 2000, at the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020. I don't know what's wrong, but it looks like they're taking a little bit of a holiday right now.
Yeah, and it's not just about holiday. To add a little bit more to your statement, James, if Fnatic loses this game, they come bottom of the group and they get eliminated. Mainly because FaZe winning 2 games, they're at top of the group right now. And in a head-to-head matchup, Fnatic would have already lost to Team Spirit yesterday. And now, to Team Spirit yesterday. And now if they lose to Godsent right now, that means they come last. This is an absolute must-win for Fnatic. If they come out last year, it's going to be a disappointment back-to-back in 2 big tournaments.
And the thing is, right, with this Fnatic roster, it had such a high peak, but this low right now during an online season, we heard from them. They said, oh, maybe we just need another boot camp or something to get going. But realistically, you at least expect them to put up more of a fight than what they did yesterday. And I think that's the problem I had here.
Yeah, it's the teams they're losing to. You see it on your screen right here. Losing to NIP is not a shame at the moment. I think NIP have been playing some solid Counter-Strike, but going down 2-0 to Movie Star Riders, that's not a no-go. Going down 2-0 to Spirit, the way they lost yesterday, that's a no-go. By no means are those teams bad teams, but if you're Fnatic, you are a team that currently is world ranked number 3, as you see on your screen. They're nowhere near playing like a team that is number 3. They're playing like a team that is just fighting to get inside top 10. And that's not what we expect from a team like Fnatic.
And when we're looking at this Fnatic roster, right, Broland, the young star in there, is the one we're looking to cause all the problems, to get up to the mischief when it comes to it. But it's the other veteran players like Crims and JW coming in there that have still been able to perform very well. But it needs to be on a more consistent basis, I feel.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that's the statement JW made yesterday, that individually it is trailing off a little bit. And the thing with Fnatic as a unit is they thrive in individuals, right? They thrive in that hive mind style of communication where they just seem to instinctively know how they approach things. I think the biggest example, the most infamous example I saw from yesterday was the final round on the retake on the B bomb side, where Flusha or Crims could have stopped the plan from happening. He gets team flash. That's something you don't really see from a team like Fnatic. And if that's going to be the sign of things to come, I'm worried for them, because they're not like a typical team like an Astralis, where I call Astralis a typical team because they have a structure, they have a fundamental approach to the game, which is very not easy to replicate, but easy to understand. For Fnatic, it's more like it's chaos, right? It's chaotic magic. And if the magic is missing, if it's just pure chaos, it's not really going to work out in the server.
Well, like we can see on the ticker below, it says, "What up now, Swedes?" Woo! So let's find out what they're saying ahead of this game.
Going up against Godsent, it's gonna be hard because they have a special map pool, I would say. They love Vertigo, and we could play it, but I don't know if top prior right now. And they just changed the player, so it's really hard to say anything about them. I don't think they're gonna change up much in their game. I think the new guy is gonna take the positions that Michaelella had.
Poison with another, and that's it. We're gonna go to an overtime unless Golden's got it in him. Oh, maybe not. Am I calling it too early? Plan will come through. They're not gonna continue progressing. Actually, Poison gets blinded by his teammate's flash. In a 1v3, it's difficult. It starts with a headshot, and he makes it through the single door as well.
Oh my god, what? Golden is inspired by Roland right now. Pops out for the headshot and rush, and it's all on Blame F. He's actually tapped up. Golden's gonna wait for the tap on the bomb. He runs out. There it is. Too crazy around.
Farlig and Michaelella is 2 different op stylers. Farlig is more aggressive, I would say. So it's gonna be a little bit tougher to play against that. He's like playing against like aggressive uppers like Simple, Canes. They always take aggressive peaks, and it's really annoying actually if they get a pick off, if you're gonna do like a execute or take map control. So it's gonna be a big difference. I feel we are the better team than Godsent. I hope we can show it as well.
On paper, you certainly are the better team, Crims, and now you have to show it, because this is a must-win game, guys, right?
It is a must-win game. There's no doubt about it. Fnatic are supposed to win this game. Fnatic are supposed to be a team to be reckoned with. And look at Godsent. They have just made a roster change. They're still trying to facilitate how to play with Farley. If I'm Fnatic right here, losing to a team like Godsent, considering where Godsent is coming from as well, with the Swedish organization going toe-to-toe against each other, I would be very, very, very much disappointed if Fnatic is not going to win.
And let's get on to this Godsent roster, right? Because they've made a change. They certainly made it look very competitive yesterday against FaZe. They may have stumbled at the last hurdle, but they've got a lot of good pieces that they can work with here.
Yeah, they do have a very good piece, especially in the form of Farlig. He was the only player to go positive yesterday in the matchup against FaZe, right? And for such a young player coming into this team, I think that's a very good sign. As a pure opera, is he an upgrade over Michael Ele? 100%. There's no doubt about that. But the question remains that Michael Ele, he does, he's been in this roster for a long time. It's not just about his offense skills, but also what he brings to the table when it comes to the comms, how we understand the team works, etc., etc. New player coming in, he knows how to left click, how to move around and click heads. But apart from that, it's going to take quite a while for the rest of the team like Crystal and Devilwalk to work with him to make him understand the nuances of how the team really operates as a unit. They don't have enough time for that to really happen, and that's something that Fnatic should be abusing right now, and that's why Fnatic shouldn't really be going for individual duels, because if they do that, players like Sticko, Crystal, Madden, and especially Farlig, they can potentially win those duels looking at the individual levels of Fnatic right now, which looks a little shaky at the moment.
Well, let's find out what Godsent are thinking ahead of this game, because for these guys, right, they can cause a major upset here.
There was no insane preparation towards Fnatic, since we know that what they like to do is play this kind of Fnatic style where they play heavy on individual skill. We're coming into the whole event and this matchup particular as a heavy underdog. They're obviously top 5 team in the world, and we usually have the troubles against tier 1 opposition, so all we will have to hope for is that we are prepared individually better on that day than they are.
Crystal on the bot side is in a very difficult spot to try and hold this from, but there is the flank coming up the ladder and they have no idea. Sticko manages to pop up and get a double. Get the B, realizes, what am I doing? I don't have time to do that, and then goes down. Sticko.
Tactically, I don't think it's gonna be heavy strat game. Especially now that we have a new player, we will be focusing more on communication and avoid set plays, because it's hard implementing them towards a new 5th player, especially when it's open. But we need to be 150% focused on every round.
It's time for us to quickly get into this veto, guys. And for me, it's trying to look at the wild world where Godsent can find some hope to take down Fnatic, because, again, this could end up very scrappy.
It's going to be no Mirage, that much we do know. Question is, what is Godsent picking after yesterday? Nuke is going to be the pick, Inferno going to be the one from Fnatic. I think both these teams can be relatively comfortable with that. Nuke, we saw it yesterday, they were able to take down FaZe Clan. Sorry, they lost to FaZe Clan, sorry, but they probably should have taken down FaZe Clan. It was a very high-paced game. Fnatic maybe want to play the same way. Train as a decider player. I don't know about you, but I feel that all these 3 maps can potentially be 50-50 given the current state of Fnatic.
100% agree with you. I personally felt Godsent would maybe go for the Train pick first. That's the only difference for me. I thought they'd go for Train. Fnatic, they're obviously going to go for Inferno. The mistakes they made on Inferno when they lost yesterday was very obvious, right? It wasn't. We knew we could put a finger in it. It was the B bombs that was struggling quite a bit. The comms are a little bit off, and I'm sure Fnatic, that's a map they're very comfortable on. So yeah. Excuse me, I do believe that looking at the 3 maps, 100% agree with you. I think it's very 50-50. And for Fnatic, they need to not play individuals. If they do that way, like Sticko said, Godsent can take it to them.
Yeah, they really can, and we're about to find out after this break. It's time for you guys to get hype and get ready, because coming up after the break is going to be Godsent taking on Fnatic.
flashbangs effective. They have got through the smoke wall here, but Chris J, he is the final boss of the bomb site.
Now Spitty and Chris J to keep Mousesports alive.
Oh, Chris! He's found 3. It's down to a 2-on-2. Chris, can he close this with an ace? Oh my God!
Can they actually close this out? Boom, Chris.
Fantastic way to start, and no scopes on him himself. Absolutely saving Mousesports.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey, Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you going to want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you going to be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're going to want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
Well, hello, EU. Looks like Launders and I are hopping on from across the pond to bring you guys the next 2 best of 3s today. North American Counter-Strike's coming up next, but we have to set our eyes and expectations upon Fnatic. This is, for them, an elimination matchup. There's still a chance Godsent get through even if they lose, but the head-to-head matchups is what could spell disaster here for Fnatic. So I hope somebody told them, because this one is real important. We've already seen some favorites fall short here at DreamHack Masters. Mouse Sports eliminated from Group B. Let's see if Fnatic shall join them. They are on the defense here as we begin the journey on Nuke. Ooh, already over towards the hut is where we get the action started. Crim's 2 kills, both headshots, one of which while blind. Crim's on for the 4K. Almost gets it there. It's Flusha and Brolin to lend a helping hand to close this, but Fnatic takes CT-sided pistol.
Fnatic before this matchup was a big question mark, but after watching that Spirit match, you can kind of sympathize with losing to Spirit. Now, they clearly are an incredible roster and have made some big moves and probably caught Fnatic way off guard. Fnatic in general in this road to Rio have been a bit sketchy since Pro League. They had a fantastic Pro League season, of course, but in the road to Rio, we're losing basically most of their games. So now we come over here, they're coming off of a win-loss type situation. And Godsent do look better than people expected as well. It's a weird recipe in a lot of these groups for big upsets. It feels like all of the groups have been turned almost on their heads, and the favorites are not the people coming out ahead. So here's a pretty good start as well for Godsent, though JW open lines of sight on 2 players who are trying to wrap to heaven. Trade comes out, 3 up for Fnatic, but slight health advantage, not major.
Ooh, come on, Farlig. He's on for the ace. He's got 3 kills already with this scout, the newest addition to Godsent. Looking good in his photo here. He's got that survivalist backpack strap. Yeah, he did. Pistols out. Oh, so close. That would have been a hell of a clip, a hell of an ace to start off this first map, but he comes a little shy. I'm still a little bamboozled as to how JW manages to get out from secret stairs and pepper those 2 players with their backs turned, because Godsent had another 2 players just next to the red box, one of which was Farlig, probably scoped in and doing a good job at a distance versus the other members of Fnatic. But that was a big one because it got so much information, and then they were still able to just drag it across the line.
Yeah,
versus,
you and me both.
A couple pistols this time, that's all they have.
Indeed, indeed. Now Sticko looking for a chance. He spots a peek, but don't tell him a whole lot. Flusha, he's already in their spawn, trying to buy their guns, taking out Crystal with a clean headshot, just pushing with the USP, getting a lot of information, and he's not a very high value target.
Farlig trying to look downwards here from the top of silo, looking for somebody else to be cheating around outdoors. Don't forget the bomb. Bring it on. Falls down the ladder. Looks like they could just try and sprint into this A site, maybe find a little bit of timing here. It's not going to help that they're losing bodies elsewhere. JW, crispy scout headshot. Crim's getting confirmation that there are T's towards secret. He decides to throw himself into the vent with the knife out. Come get some. Oh, just stabbed in the back, and he's ready for another. 3-0 Fnatic.
Yeah, it's just Counter-Strike things. If you're on the ladder and you get stabbed in the feet, you die, no matter how much HP you have. So that's probably the best way to stop this. This way, you know nobody's gone down lower, and you also get 50 and $100 per kill. So win there for Crims in that position. Now, Godsent will buy up in full. They don't have the op out. I don't know if that's going to be a priority for their T side. You imagine it's going to make an appearance once or twice. Farlig crossing fast. Oh no, sorry, I was mistaken. He did it for it. I was wondering where that was. So they do have this. They've crossed outside a little bit early. They aren't throwing the rest of the smokes yet. They want to leave open lines of sight so people maybe make bad decisions. And there is a scout from JW that could potentially get picked off.
Curious to see how long Flusha decides to wait on stairs. Decides to peek upwards, catching Farlig. So the offer's down. Stiko does get the trade frag. A bit labored, but they've got it in the bag. 4 versus 3. Maiden already starting to take to the top side of the roofs. trying to figure out how the hell he gets Crims out from beneath him, and he has to be cautious because there are 2 players here towards heaven and hell, but Crystal finding the middle ground. Denying Brolin inside of Mini before we have the CTs bounce back across the kill feed. 2 versus 4 to the 2 versus 2. And they're still being faced with duels outdoors. Crim's gonna pick up another couple headshots, a 3-piece for him, and a 4th round for Fnatic.
One of the cleanest 2v4s that you'll ever see, really. I mean, there was just not much resistance here by Godsent, and clearly what they needed to do was once they got that last kill, they should have probably tried to group in some form or use some of their remaining utility. It felt like they played loose outside to a point. That was great. And then they got diminishing returns by staying out there. Of course, Fnatic were clearly in great positions to trade, which made it a lot harder to win the rounds ultimately. But yeah, because they're up 4-0 now, Godsent back on the save. And it's just a conversation about eco rounds. And I'd like to just put a spotlight on Sticko. Of all people on Godsent. I think he's nearing his career best form on this roster right now. He's been a big part of their success recently and some of their upsets, and it's good to see him playing so well.
Yeah, a player who had quite the tenured experience on Hellraisers with Angel, you know, a man who knows, textbook CS, just like Golden. Grabbing a couple headshots here on ramp. I love that he doesn't just shy away from these pistol players. They know they have an advantage over this buy, so they hold the line and get 5. Still 0 for Godsent, but, well, we're already a third of the way through this T side.
I think the defaults towards outside can be great if they tighten up a little bit, but we see teams that are trying to keep it more simple work towards these upstairs hits as well as ramp hits. You know, those are low utility rounds that come down to great entry fragging, and we saw Sticko put an emphasis on focus and also a de-emphasis on strats. So outside can be one of the most convoluted ways to win a round when it comes down to team cohesion. So maybe Godsent try something new if they want to keep it simple.
Ooh, Crims just made a step. Crystal should have heard this. You saw him adjust slightly, but he was still up on that pedestal. Really easy for Crims to just kick out from beneath. He is off to a flying start here on Nuke. Maiden able to answer back through the smoke. He finds Flusha. 4 versus 3, but 2 of these CTs also tagged up pretty damn low.
Yeah, the pace is kind of low here for Godsent. They're working out to try to get these trades, but Fnatic they seem happy with how slow Godsent are playing. They're 1 step ahead of the situation, and there is some map control attained by Sticko, but it's a tough position where you don't know if this is a total bait. It could be a honeypot, and they want you to come up ladder, and so he won't aggress to that point. Farleg waiting for the upstairs split, and Sticko finding a safer route into heaven and finds a great angle on Brolin as well as a second target.
Wow.
Not a chance in hell for that man. Golden down in secret and upstairs has been completely compromised.
Yeah, Madden, that last kill is definitely just the nail in the coffin, but hot hell, Sticko coming out of nowhere, clapping him back. He's still got all of his utility, 2 headshots, makes it look easy. Welcome to the game, my friend.
If you're a fan,
the individuals for go on.
We want to have the tractor emojis in the chat for Sticko.
That's true. His classic. Trademark. Loves tractors because he puts in work.
It's true, yeah.
Or maybe he's that weird kid that's also like obsessed with trains.
Maybe, you know? Yeah. Sticko, Tycho, something there. Vehicles, kids' toys. There's probably some connection.
Yeah, a connection someone smarter than us could make.
That's true. Maybe we ask him about that. It's been in his Twitter name for so long. What's the deal with trucks, or tractors specifically, Sticko? What is the obsession? Where does it come from? Wow,
dude,
just a great shot, man. And it's such an important shot, too, because you know Golden's not going to give him another chance.
Would you say that Sticko just hit the golden opportunity?
I laughed inside. I laughed inside when you say that. It's a mouth closed, but you can see my teeth laugh.
Okay.
A little bit of air comes out of my nose.
Slightly.
Slightly.
Don't want to overdo it.
No.
That's what Madden's thinking. Don't want to overdo this. He finds timing to play outside of Squeaky. Could have been him walking into the lion's den, but Brolin on top of the hut doesn't catch him. So it turns out to be perfect. Flusha outside will cut down one, keeping these numbers even, giving Crystal a chance to fall back with bomb. Madden's going to spam a bit more here. Doesn't connect to kill this time around. 4 versus 4 at the minute mark.
They've been pressing these defaults really strong and actually come quite close to success, and then shown us how they can make that bit of success in the early round and turn that into a round win. Great flick to the left there by JW. Scaring them in the lobby, pushing them out into the ramp, and Golden doing his job. What a nice couple of kills by him. And also enough damage to complement that grenade. 1 HP for Crystal. He's out of the round. That is a fantastic hold by Golden. It's not as often these days that you see the ramp player stick around. But Golden, he wants the fight. He wants to go all 5 rounds.
Nice. Catching Farlig over the box. That one was just beautiful stuff. Good multi-kill to lock down the ramp, get right back into the control of things. Still, of course, Godsent with enough economy to come in with the buy, but it's almost everything on the line. Madden's going to hold on to $2.6 thousand. Wall of smokes sent soaring outdoors. Crystal's going to put a Molotov over it. Actually gets extinguished. That one should have been meant for the secret stairs, just to confirm that no one from Fnatic could actually come peeking upwards. Now, JW hasn't come peeking towards secret, but he's certainly downstairs on one of the closer angles as well. So a nice jump over his line of sight sends him spiraling back towards Decon, and these T's give chase. They are right behind him. He's gonna go ahead and close the door, tries to use it as a shotgun, but the op fails him, and a 5 versus 2 ensues. Finally an answer back from Crims, but a single kill is all that's his, and Brolin nowhere to be found.
What happened, guys? Brolin asks in the Discord server. How did it all go wrong? He has no idea. No information for him. His job was to stay upstairs and make sure everything's all good in this part of the house. But down in the basement, that's when things got dirty. Godsent, they pushed JW to the point that, I mean, he was on his last angle, I guess, behind the site, playing it like JW would, waiting for the door to open. You could see it cross his mind to maybe open the door in their face and take a shot. Don't really know where he goes from there if they all rush him down, even if he does get 1 kill. But overall, his movement to get to that point was great. You know, dropping the smoke without pumping forward at all, running down the stairs without jumping, just exposing himself to a minimal extent. And it was just smart from Godsent, I guess, to go after him, knowing that he loves to fight. And Godsent secure a 2nd round, and Fnatic probably be slightly arsed about that one. That's not a fun round to lose by any stretch of the imagination. Fnatic buy up once again. JW back on the op with no money left over. And this could be a round where Godsent draw an eco out of Fnatic.
Yeah, off of the back of facing one themselves. So we'll put Fnatic in that awkward position where they once were. Godsent again going to throw up the wall of smokes, trying to cross over. There are a couple of CTs ready to spam through this. Grenade timing could be great. Farlig down for the count. Crimson Flusha going to combine for that one. Still, Godsent will move downstairs with almost all that remains. They leave just 1 player at the base of Silo. That's going to be Stiko. Golden's Molotov interrupts them, though. This one's going to cut off Zen from the rest of the pack. 2 T's move past, one of which now inside of vents, and this gives room for Madden to come here. He's going to have a good angle. Golden thinks he's playing headshot versus the staircase, but that's why the vent feed can offset you. JW missing his first shot, trying to get out into the control room, but that's where Zen's going to take him down. So the outer play from Godsent seems to have worked yet once more. This time it wasn't a straight up push like last round, but they slowly and surely wiggled their way in.
Godsent still seem well prepared in some ways, understanding Golden and how he's going to play his spot, using the vent to approach him as opposed to, as you pointed out, using the stairs as a headshot angle, which is more of a 50-50. They put him in an unfair position, and that worked out well. They even had Stiko upstairs to catch flanks inside of Squeaky, and he's done a great job denying any exits for Fnatic. A very clean round overall from Godsent, and just as we brought up, a situation where Godsent are now in a stark economic lead. It's going to be a save for Fnatic. Probably just pistols, not even half armor on this round, maybe. Oh, unless they want to try to force JW buys armor and a kit. Maybe they want to have a second to talk about this.
Bit too late. Buys it up immediately.
I'm a star now. Sticko saw a jump of 0.14 in his average rating between 2018 and 2019. 2019 was his best year, which is awesome. This is Sticko of Mouse Sports, of Hellraisers, and was always pretty much the worst statistical player on the team, almost the entire time, you know? And now it's not often that you see a player that goes from that position as one of the more hard supports in the scene to a player who is jumping up in his fragging performance alone and oftentimes carrying the team. It's great to see.
It's always
gives us all hope, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a great storyline when somebody can just come back and reinvent their game.
See teams or players move laterally sometimes, fragger to IGL, offer to rifler, something like that, where they have to change, but they can still have the same impact if they're good enough. But not just like statistically worse to statistically better from support to star. That's just not normally a transition players can make for this garage control. Yeah.
Whoa, but nicer Deeg, the golden one from downtown, gets the 4 versus 3 headshot back from Sticko as he starts to crawl out from the squeaky door. Now everybody for Fnatic getting a little antsy. Golden's pushed ramp, and that's actually going to offset Farlig. Had Golden been back towards ramp, then his position predicted, but I mean, Golden's been everywhere, peeking the backside of Hell towards CT spawn, holding back Garage, and then extending into the ramp. Like, how many people from Hell rotate back into ramp, having left it open for a moment, and then go get some more map control on the other side? That's huge, but it is clawed back by Madden, and this round not done just yet. JW, he's going to hear him depart. Tries to give chase, makes a little bit sound of his own, and there's a better weapon on the ground right there if he wants to go back for it, but nope, he's gonna go running downwards. All the while, Sticko, don't fall for this movement down on the B side, because Sticko has that bomb, and he's inside of Mini towards A.
Oh my god, they actually pull the rotate down.
Yeah, just get suction cup, pulled down into the B bomb site like a couple of fools. Godsent, very slick moves.
Holy smokes, they have it. JW has a kit, so they're certainly going to test this. They've lots of time left on the bomb. But will their positions be unknown?
Pop flash attempt, shut down immediately. Sticko just beneath it. And it's not going to be any easier for Crims as he attempts it with the Deeg. Does actually have the 1v1 on the bomb site. This could be huge, because had he grabbed that kill, there was a chance. A kit beneath him, and the second T was nowhere to be found. Sticko, he had to win that fight.
Yeah, he could have basically stuck the bomb after getting that one kill. So a crazy round full of these long range and just well-placed Deagle headshots. Good crosshair placement there by Golden, of course. And Fnatic steal one away. Godsent's default, it works for them. It works against them at times. I think it seems like an overall a good thing that they're doing that's helped them get back into this game. But it might not be dynamic enough for it to catch Fnatic off guard on all rounds. And I think, yeah, Fnatic look like they're happy to take all these 50-50s. And that's just allowing the scoreline to stay close. Sticko, nice entry. And it's pistols up again for Fnatic. That was such
extreme.
It was such a great 2v2. I mean, having someone rotate down ramp, I wonder if he was running the whole way specifically to pull that bait, then coming up as Sticko wrapped into A site. It was just beautiful. Probably working off the audibles. I don't think it's too much to say they did that on purpose, but it's not something I don't think I've ever seen.
They're about to walk into a crossfire, and Crystal's low HP. Farlig, great little snap back to the left, picks up both those kills. JW was hoping that they just continued downwards towards him. Could actually prime an attempt for Flusha to slip in between it all. He hears the sprinting footsteps of the 3 Ts. Whoa, nearly cutting off Farlig with the op. Was not ready to be shot in the back like that. JW creeping up the vents, sees Farlig, takes him down, and that's just way too much to ask for. So understandably, Godsent gonna pick up the win. Godsent gonna find themselves within 1 round now of Fnatic, who had a stellar start at the start of this half.
As we brought up, must-win game for Fnatic. It couldn't be more important in these circumstances, and they are coming off of a really tough loss where they look like they stood no chance. So there's a lot of proving to do here for Fnatic fans, and to Godsent as well, to show them that they're not supposed to be a threat of this caliber. JW, openly aggressive pick here through the squeaky, meant not to take damage, and Madden overestimates what the Molotov can do for him, puts him in line of sight of JW, even though JW is not in any danger whatsoever. And that is 1 point to Fnatic here, slightly up in material, as they, in Godsent, look for another avenue to explode in. But Golden, again, he does not fall back. Well, this time, he literally falls off, but I think he was willing to take that peek.
Yeah, Golden really plays the line, and I think the reason that, you know, he wrongs you mid-sentence is because he will make it seem like he's on the retreat, only to come right back. Does that frequently, does it well. Crystal, holding back behind Mini, finds a player outdoors. Now Brolin's gonna start walking back towards the heaven, and he is gifted the bomb. Nobody else actually coming out from Hut for Godsent. Instead, trying to use Squeaky to take control of the A site, but Crims, he's gonna come out from the vent, losing a teammate in JW, who tries to jump Farlig real close. Down he goes, regardless, and Crystal dies as well. That's Fnatic back on the board. Fnatic trying to break this momentum of Godsent, but it is not gonna be easy.
Such a stark contrast to a lot of the CS games that we've seen at Masters so far, where there's just not much utility usage in general. It is a game of getting the 5v4 and then lurking for the rest of the kills, to the point of fault for both teams. Fnatic are obviously the team who are more warranted to do so, considering they're on CT side, either trying to reclaim a kill to catch up, but in general are just sitting in their positions waiting. Godsent are just trying to walk out, catch them by shooting them in the back. We did hear Sticko talk about how they wanted to shy away from executes, but I think there's still a disparity between full executes and using some utility but not executing, and it feels like they're not riding that line as well as they could.
Good timing for Brolin. Quick and easy headshot. Now Crystal's attempt. A bit labored, but still gets the job done. 4v4 trying to clash back against Mini. Brolin's gonna best him through the smoke. Trying to play with Lady Luck. And this time it costs Godsent. They do have close proximity here versus JW's scope, and he wants that garage kill, but someone's gonna step right in front of him. JW trying to dodge back, and just in the nick of time finding cover here. Zen now has that map control. What are they gonna do from here?
That's a narrow escape, and Brolin's already put on his Indiana Jones camp as looking for an adventure. Flanking through Secret. Looks like he'll catch one. Sticko, think he was opping? Missed the shot there. Allowing Brolin to recede back into Secret, into safety, denying the thought of going downstairs via ramp, or scaring Godsent as they scope out ramp for another kill. Golden eats a bullet. Nice clear by Zen. And will they run face first into Brolin is the question.
Yeah, they're going to sprint inwards. Brolin swings the doors. Crystal's going to take him down. And now Crystal, he has a route to get onto the other side. Because Zen's coming through control, they've cut off 50% of the site. It's down to the 1v1. Crims just going to hope Crystal gives him the kill. But Crystal gets back into the double doors, and now Crims is going to have to make his move. He needs that kit that's just in front of him. Smoke and a double flash if he wants to desperately try and stick this. If not, he's going to have to get over to the doors and try to disturb the post plant from Crystal, who has lesser health than Crims. Comes around. Thank goodness he had 100 HP, or else he loses that fight. Crystal taking more than half in the first few shots of the spray down. Can't manage it. Fnatic up in with an 8th round, 3-point lead.
And it was a close one. We give them that. I mean, they brought it back from a 2vX or whatever. After Brolin gets his kill, you think it's over. And then Brolin swings open the control door and like lets him have a free kill, and you wonder why. And I'm not sure either. There was no bomb plan as well, no audible, apart from the guy running across the top railing. Maybe that's what it was. But it allows Godsent to get close, but not close enough to win. And now that Fnatic are up to 8, they're feeling a little bit better about their CT side. How are Godsent going to keep it innovative?
Looking to lock it down with as much as they can. 2 rounds left for Fnatic to try and take Auto shotgun on the field. Crystal feeling the mini split, almost lining up that second body. Good job by Zen to still spam smoke and take it. That opens a route through hut. JW trying to play around the silos in sight. Done a good job of curbing back Godsent, who instead decide to use ramp to try and go down B. Looks like Fnatic have completely forfeited the upper bomb site, and Farlig's kill towards Hell could throw everything back in question. Zen comes down from vent. He's behind enemy lines. Arrives just in time to find JW's head turned, and Flusha so outnumbered in this moment that you can't expect too much. Zen getting it in with a 3-piece this round, keeping Godsent within 2.
Yeah, they keep it tight, that's for sure. I mean, they are definitely playing a dangerous game by taking on some of the most creative individuals in CS in a default with all of these different lurks. But yeah, I mean, what can you say? They're keeping it close. They even almost won that 1v1 with Crystal and brought, man disadvantage situations a lot closer. So maybe this is just the best version of Godsent that we can ask for, and at least they're playing to their level of comfort. Nice opening kill here for Crystal. And to speak to Crystal's 1v1, he's a player that statistically lags behind pretty heavily, honestly, even in recent form and on this roster. But in 1v1s, he's one of the smartest players in the game and always does something extremely creative. And I feel like there's a lot of faith in him to pull these rounds out. But even though when you play it well, sometimes you can get outgunned, and that's what we saw when he tried to take down Crims. Brolin getting caught off, and it's a very clean go of it on the 15th round here. They're actually pulling this back after drawing out the eco. Just Flusha left alone.
Very nicely done. Godsent from the 6-1 deficit to the 8-7 half. Still trailing slightly, but odds are they'll bring this back. Folks, we'll see you after the break for the second half of Nuke. A great 5-0 start for Fnatic fizzled out by the end of that first half and leave us here Only 8 CT rounds. Is that a cause for concern? Perhaps. What definitely is a cause for concern is the individual form that Stico's currently hitting, because with Fnatic facing elimination in this BO3 series, they're gonna want to shut him down, and he's been looking hot. At least Fnatic switch over to the T side where they can set the precedent, where they can set the tempo. And they're gonna do so over towards ramp. Here in the pistol, already taking names. Stico, the man I just tried to highlight, dies without more than a whimper, and the B bomb site's compromised. Fnatic gonna plant.
But will they slow down? Zen holding the angle, expecting the push to come through. Bomb's not on the floor just yet, and Madden will get taken out immediately. Zen wanted to try to help him out, but he was in an angle a bit too depressed. JW makes his way into the control window, and there are a multitude of fights going on right now.
Yeah, that one's huge. Golden cutting off the decontamination door. That's going to leave Zen and Farlig both on double. Flusha going to try and go for the flank, perhaps. This would be the big play. And actually, the CTs, they're trying to buy time so that Zen can come back over towards Decon. They're going to pinch in on JW, and it works. They were 2 bodies on the double doors. Looked like they had to force their way out of that, which would have been so easily predicted. And instead, they bring it down to the wire in order
turns
to
green.
Go for the pinch. That's
you hear that whine and you think, man, it's a Flusha. He drops a kill. You know he's going to be kicking himself about. I could feel the winds from him when he was on his 5th, 6th bullet and then ended up dying. Wow. If he had delayed just a second, that would have been enough. Oh man, that's a rough one. That's a rough go of it. 8-8,
yeah.
But it's great for Godsent. I mean, again, this is Fnatic, who are going to be a bit more scared to lose this game than Godsent are going to be excited to win. That's never a good situation to be in.
Molly goes up and over. There's not going to be any moves here from Godsent towards those secret stairs. So Golden's going to find this real estate for free.
Free real estate, I'm in.
Yeah, rarity nowadays. Grenade is good. Meh. Oh, but he
should have been.
And then he's going to go one better. Looking for the 3rd off the MP9. Solid hold from Stico, considering the limited weaponry. But J-Dubs with the big dig.
Crazier things.
Whoop, Zen. Almost getting the head of JW. Flashbang goes deep. The utility here for Fnatic to try and hold on with is that Molotov double flash, but it's all on JW, and he only has 6 health. So if they can bring the clock down low, he needs to keep himself up and alive. Golden tries his damnedest to cut off the man from the back of the bomb site, but Zen comes downwards, finds that timing in Decon, and sure enough, we've got Godsent in the lead.
Zen has the patience of a stoic. I think it's fitting for a man with a name like that. He has been playing really smartly versus Fnatic in a lot of these post-plant situations, not rushing to go for trades, always anticipatory of the second player that could come out, never pushing the advantage and dropping it and allowing his team to work on map control while he maintains his presence and poses a threat. Even though that's not a real threat, he just stands there and waits.
Single AK for JW, gonna try desperately to get down vents. Look at that kill feed. Double blind frag, +1 through smoke. And a valiant eco effort comes to a grinding halt. JW is kind of looking at this AK like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? He's got no opening. His teammates have not gotten the utility out of Godsent either. So, I mean, they can just now just play default, follow up with smokes, drop the mollies, burn the clock down.
And winning might be unrealistic. Yeah. Okay, there's a kill. That's not too bad. They just don't want to leave this round without anything because they did invest something. And wow, Zen closing it off as well, up to 17 frags already. Playing definitely very well. And now Godsent drawing a lead. They're starting to mount a significant lead. We'll see if they can keep Fnatic in this buy save status quo, and if Fnatic can figure out a way out of it. Obviously another early attempt here on the T side at a rifle round, so lots of opportunities still to show what they can do.
The last 12 rounds, Godsent win 75% of them. which leaves only one other round as the anomaly. So they have been in control of this first map for quite some time. Let's see if JW's pressure over towards the ramp room can put an end to that. Farlig, crisp AUG headshot, nicely done. And then he immediately goes right back up into heaven. So this does still open the route towards B. But I think Godsent are okay with the retake if they have to do it. Brolin over towards the secret stairs, nearly catching Zen, who tries to throw the bank nade to deal damage here. And even as Brolin goes downwards, he's met by another smoke. So Zen still has a little bit of time here to choose his position, but the bomb's planted in the midst of it all. And Golden, well, he's trying to spam back towards Decon door. Zen's calling for help.
Yeah, he's definitely in an appropriate spot. I mean, there's just a barrage of nades coming at them in the ramp. There's 3 that need to rotate down here. There's 2 choke points that they can push up, so it's not exactly congested, but they need to help out soon.
That's a big first one for Crystal, but they lose their anchor towards Decon. And now you have to ask yourself, do we gamble everything else we have through ramp? The answer is no to that. Godsent, they're going to concede this round, given the 19th to Fnatic, letting them cut that lead to just a single round now. But it all hinges on JW hitting up that ramp room, getting the Hell player, and then also Godsent. Once Farlig gets that first kill towards ramp, when he trades it back, he doesn't decide to stick around there. So the B site was so compromised.
Yeah, it was. And I think that Fnatic were expecting an over-rotation, a lot of fear in Godsent because they killed the ramp player who should normally be able to fall back at the very minimum and lock down lower so that your upper players don't have to fall out of heaven. And so Krim starts throwing nades downstairs, but coming back up. And they were trying very hard to catch a rotate, but Zen was not giving it up. And he was there in secret to spot, to make sure, and to see if they were going to actually fake it or commit downstairs. But still, even with all that, they didn't have rotations in place. And Fnatic, from that perspective, checkmated them. Farlig now, oh my god, as they're trying to go lower, off of the ladder, no scope.
That's ridiculous. Just unreal. He's gonna keep trying to get out of here, drops a frag grenade on his own head, doing more damage than what he would have liked. Follow-up smoke grenade towards Mini. Bomb's going to be planted, of course, here from Fnatic. 3 versus 2. Zen just hoping that on the side of the smoke he could find an angle, but that should never happen. JW going to keep him honest with eyes on it. Farlig forfeits vent, doubles back up, but hell, if he had been able to get a second one onto what I believe was Crims, who moved past the first body, then that would have just been godlike. But regardless, Farlig, I tip my hat towards you for even trying it the first time.
Let alone the second. Yeah, that's it could have been such a cool round, but nobody else really got a kill. So I thought it was all part of, he's the one player upstairs that is no longer useful. He's the one who gets caught out when they bust out Squeaky. So for him to have impact, that's what gets me excited. And then you think, well, if his teammates get anything out of this, and now they have info on Squeaky and a man down, they can hold, but it all obviously is inconsequential as he's pretty much the only one to get a frag.
We can't forget that Farlig was the player who was knifed inside of vents last half by Krim, so he has to go one better. You got to get your dignity back. After being stabbed inside of vents, you just got to one-up the man with a no-scope of all things. Had it been Crims, it would have been sweet, delicious justice. Somebody takes the bullet for him. Crims laughs all the way to the bank.
Quiet walk outside by Fnatic as they look to compromise Secret. I like where they're coming from here. Godsent have been a bit too patient on the rotate sometimes. Zen, I think, is the most aware of the team, but he's only one man. It's definitely going to be a team effort, and it looks like off of the smoke, he's got a whiff of something. 3 players, a head pops up, and Crims, what? Turns on a dime. Peace out, Zen.
Just blows him away. Same as Flusha coming in through Mini. He's disrupting this A site to try and keep any type of event rotate at bay. Crystal trying his damnedest to stay standing, actually drops bomb. This was a last-minute adjustment from Fnatic. They could have taken the B site for free. Instead, they're pounding their head against the wall on A. Stiko, the player we've praised for standing up and having incredible form as of late. 1 versus 3 backsite. He is trying absolutely his hardest, flashing off the walls, trying to disrupt that, trying to keep eyes on bomb, but it's just too much to handle. Fnatic, oh my god. They made that way harder than it had to be, but they still get through with the win.
They take the advantage and they try their hardest to defenestrate it, but it stays. They end up trading out efficiently no matter what. It's the kills ultimately that allow them to do anything, but they really risked it all to try to get back upstairs when they got the most important kill in lower. And again, are anticipating over-rotates from Godsent, but Godsent have been doing the opposite. They've been late to rotates. It feels like Fnatic are kind of playing themselves a bit too much because, yeah, I mean, they're doing the right things and expecting a certain response. That response isn't coming. So in the future, commit to the site because Godsent are a bit too slow.
Oh, yeah. More of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on now.
AK for your troubles. They heard that, but they can't stop it. Rap smokes outside. Could mean a number of things, though. You know, still leave secret open if no one's spotting. And
ooh, what's that smoke doing up there?
Yeah, it's a cloud. They threw a cloud down outside on heaven. They have clouds in heaven.
Smoking on the rooftops.
It's a nice summer day. It's Sweden.
Or it's pollution from this nuclear facility, and you know, you shouldn't be breathing that in. Or choose to. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life.
That's true. It is your life. Live it how you want.
They've come down to the B bomb site. Yeah, found it open. No defense here, so I think that what you had mentioned a couple of times about a lackluster rotation pace.
When teams don't rotate, you know, they're scared. They either are not fighting for information enough or they're just too terrified to believe it.
Just the pistol still, so never should we have expected Godsent to walk away with a round win, but they are doing the dirty deeds that almost bring it into the clutch. It's still the 2 versus 2, immediately shut down here by Fnatic. They get the best of the pistols once they know where they are at, and a 2-round advantage for Fnatic. Again, on this T side, really starting to set the pace, really starting to set the tempo. If it wasn't the defuse win for Godsent in the pistol, then maybe they don't even have those 3 rounds that they start this half with. Remember, we saw Fnatic go 5-0 up, 6-1 up, in fact, CT side to start. And Godsent's momentum cut even shorter than that. Counter-Strike as T-sided as ever.
Indeed it is.
Everybody thought it was the Krieg.
No, it was the netcode the whole time. Smokes down. And another attempt here at Godsent to try to scare them a bit more. I mean, they're working outside. Getting the early 5v4 is a win condition for them. That eases up on the need for rotates, even if they're going to be a bit slow. And Zen, yeah, he's going to be a key component of their wins as well. Locking down Secret when they're liking downstairs. That's big. He sticks around. On top of that, does 250 or so damage, leaving Crimson JW with all the work. 2 on 3 left over. They're down to half HP each, and JW fails his lurk.
Huge moves by Zen. I mean, you saw him almost throw away the first kill just on the cusp of the smoke. Has a huge advantage versus that player who walks in blind. But what I really like about his reposition was that he had tucked back around the next corner in case somebody had actually gotten onto the staircase and would have, you know, full aim. The reason he so easily wins the second fight is, of course, because we have these terrorists trying to jump up onto the railing. There was no way for them to get their vision around that staircase corner without having to jump, and he finds that timing perfectly. Before they could reset their accuracy, he swings back out for the second. It does go traded, but it is the reason Godsent are able to win this round. They had Fnatic corralled outside. This one almost thrown away.
On Nuke, at least, he's definitely seeming like the most aware. And as you're pointing out, you know, they have to jump up on the railing to take a fight with him, so he's happy to do it. And anybody who's going to assume he's around the corner, they have to commit to the full swing around and probably pre-aim the wrong angle. So a lot of good reasons for him to fight like that, and it's great he was brave enough to try it. What is going to be the course of action now for Fnatic? They have been stopped in secret. There's still other ways to get downstairs, but there might be a tractor in their way.
Looks like we're going to have another variation of their outside smokes. There's a world where that clip from Zen is even better, of course. You know, take note in the replay. Crims kills him while falling. So imagine a... So Imagine a world where that whole thing comes to a grinding halt, and Fnatic would have looked like fools. Let's see if they can weather the storm better this round. 3 smokes thrown, Molly in response, but there's not anybody actually behind it.
I just want to keep, I think they want to make ramp a little bit weaker here by drawing the second.
Keep here from Godsent, keeping all 5 players alive. And I gotta say, Godsent's timing on the smokes, Mohan, I think that plays into it. Did you notice how we had 3 of Fnatic's players on Squeaky Door after they threw that fake wall of smokes? And that they couldn't run out because Godsent dropped 2 smokes on the side of Squeaky, and who wants to run through that?
Yeah,
so they go to ramp, and it doesn't work.
And yeah, either way, they pull rotation for a small cost. Either, well, Zen's and Mini right now. Smoke to stop them. And Crystal picks up the pieces. Just JW now. 1v4. Wow, man. Godsent in the lead. Looking good. Fnatic will, I think, try a new route, maybe direct into lower. I'm surprised to not see more crazy chaos and aggression towards Squeaky, especially in the early rounds. And I feel like they could get to lower if they want to. I'm not going to ask Fnatic to be more patient, of course, but I think that they can eventually get there, again, through a number of ways, either a vent drop, a ramp take, or outside. But maybe don't dive right for secret right away. 7 years ago, 5 players in the server weren't playing CSGO professionally when Fnatic won their first major in CSGO. That is all. That is the lay of the land these days. Flesha 3 times major. Yeah, Flesha 3 times major winner, and I'm sure Godsent, we're all typing exclamation drop in the chat watching him win.
We've had some incredible performances from the new kids on the block. If there's anything that we've learned at Masters, it's that the next generation of Counter-Strike player is here. Farlig putting up numbers right now. BMS and Brokey last match with, whoa, the likes of Spirit ahead of them. Everybody's putting it in. However, JW's swinging it wide. Smoke denies his follow-up vision, so he stops. 5 versus 4 for Godsent. Now, they could just try kerneling up if they want to, but I like that Stiko still sticks around to this ramp smoke. I feel like he hasn't really lost any of the duels that come his way. Pretty constantly cutting down the numbers. Zen's in a good position because both of those smokes plume next to him, and he could just peek right into the tees. Off of the flash, he'll do so. Farlig setting him up for it, but Golden's trade straight away keeps the advantage just within 1. And now he's going to try to pressure this A site, but it's going to be hard for him to find anybody. Maiden back the depths of the bomb site, cutting them down. Oh, nicely done. Right through the smoke, leaves Flusha 1 versus 4. This is Godsent about to secure their 14th round, and very well looking to ice Fnatic out of this first map quickly. Flusha ready for it, but wow, I just can't.
Nah, man, he Iron Madden. They put himself in a beautiful position with this Farlig pick to continually trade down material up into the point that they're in a man advantage, but then just don't get traded. They're happy to take fights after that point, I think, and Fnatic in that comfort zone is exactly where they didn't want them to be. It felt like we didn't even get to see what Fnatic wanted to do, and instead just had to respond to the fact that they lost and dropped the kill so early. So here is some squeaky presence, but is it a bit too late? There's so much utility here for Godsent to deal with any kind of rush strategies. We see the fire go down at ramp and Stiko up to bat one more time.
Yeah, he's going to get blinded. A little bit too much pressure, I think, for him to really gamble sticking around. Puts down the smoke. The pistols start to filter in. He's back and forth and back again. 3 headshots as only Golden seemed to best him. Flusha, however, has done a great job up on the A site to take 2 kills with just the pistol. However, he falls. Farlig with the Deagle, trying to duel versus Golden. He wants to open the door and follows through. Looked like maybe he was going to play the site, but he decides against it. So what are Farlig and Crystal going to do here? Double smoke, triple flash. Man advantage as they start to move this one forward. Crystal falling off of the rafters. Oh, immediately shut off of the bomb. Golden looking for the 3-piece. Farlig, he's going to tap it once. Golden comes wide. He gets it. Every kill seems to be his. Follows through on the B site. 1 round the difference. Fnatic nipping at the heels of Godsent.
Man, he was so good at those clutches, specifically from that door. We've seen him have so many moments in that position. And Sticko, he does all the work in the world. Like, as you pointed out, even though Godsent have lost rounds in this half, Sticko always gets 1 at ramp. This round, he gets 3. You actually can't ask for more, especially from the spot that he's standing in. He's dealing with a crossfire of T's coming at him from the middle of a ramp where they're definitely pre-firing and have audibles every single time. Get off my lawn. Godsent's 5 players have just over 77,000 kills combined. Crims JW and Flusha have over 90. And yeah, it's just to highlight and emphasize the experience discrepancy for Fnatic. And that, you know, they've got, I mean, we were talking about new players, Bymass. We got Brolin as well. You know, he's one of them. And honestly, in terms of fragging, the 2nd or 1st most consistent player on Fnatic. One of the most reliable and the youngest.
Oh, Farlig. You're a madman. Oh, he sticks around. He misses 2 shots and still commits to it. It works out for him. He actually drops the bomb back in lobby. So if Fnatic get all these entries, so be it. They need to go back and struggle for control.
Yo.
Brolin rolling in the headshots. Are you for real? The most difficult part of the round was supposed to be going back to get bomb. He does it on his own. He's like, nah, I got this. Just blows Farlig away, ties us up at 14 rounds. Is every single map today at Masters going into overtime? Because I'm ready if it is.
Yeah, why not, man? I mean, they really do feel evenly matched. Godsent earning everyone's respect. And it's even more impressive that they're kind of doing it in like a way that Fnatic are built to defeat. You know, they're emphasizing individuals. They're emphasizing lurks. These are all things that Fnatic have written the books on. And yeah, and then Godsent really showing them up in their own game. I say showing them up. I say staying tied is pretty much showing them up at this point. It's definitely very impressive. But here's a chance for Fnatic to close out. Round 29, they're up significantly in terms of economy. There's not, in fact, not a single piece of utility to Godsent's name. They're saving it all for the next round. So just don't blow this. And then we could talk about a potential for a 16-14 in favor of Fnatic, who have had to kind of perform a comeback.
Yeah, again, starting this map 6 rounds to 1. Fnatic let Godsent back into the game. Whoa, Madden. He finds a T with his head turned, but can't make the most of the CZ. Brolin comes back in for this. Shoot at me, you punk.
Yeah, he's a shark.
Looks like he's looking to pinch in with his teammates to the A site. Sure enough, Zen off the top of Hut gets 1, but I love JW's play there. He just waits a moment, lets him fall, swings the door. It's the spinal tap, and then the denied lobby crunch to Crystal. Not so clear how he's going to get himself into this clutch. 1 versus 4 with nothing other than a vanilla pistol. Fnatic finding 15. But this was the game plan from Godsent. They let this happen. They understood it was going the distance. So can this buy take us to overtime?
Yeah. I mean, for Godsent, I love the opening aggression. Farlig inside of Hut 1 round, inside of ramp as well. I'd like him to try something like that to establish. If he can do it in some kind of safe fashion, I think that just will speak to Godsent's ability to push a 5v4 to a win. Brolin's taken some early damage. That's obviously, as we've highlighted, a very important player. Some hasty rotations now to cover up for lower, as Zen is having his position replaced. Brolin looking for some action, but the shadow does him no favors.
Nope. See if Golden can be the shining sun as he tries to get the round 1. Walks out from Hut, takes the dink, gets just the single kill as Farlig locking it up from the heavens. And this looks like OT, baby. Godsent locking it down on the A site. It certainly helps when they can win that duel versus Brolin outdoors. Zen immediately turns his attention back to help with Farlig. And this op just constantly threatening from heaven. Zen pinned into his position, finishes the 30th round with 3 kills. And overtime starts now.
They did something kind of unlike anything they really tried in this half with this full press to the upstairs instead of working their kill somewhere else. And I feel like, you know, a lot of their success came from lower hits that they were taking for granted early on. And even though Godsent made a good rotation downstairs, there was still good reason to maybe try to think about ramp or outside before anything else. But I feel like when Brolin dies, he was that attempt, and they kind of put all their eggs in his basket and then just forced themselves upstairs, and it just didn't work out. And again, it's just not something that we've seen work for them, and so you wonder why pull something like that out into round 30.
See if they can take the success they've had on this T side and weaponize it in overtime. First to 19. 18 secures double OT. I like this. Farlig, he was given a little bit of space here on Secret, hasn't seen anything, and so he decides to go one better, climbs the staircase, clotheslines Golden and Zen with a kill of his own. This has been the Farlig and Zen show. You know, as much as we hype up Stiko and as many rounds as he has had impact trying to lock down ramp, Zen and Farlig really taking the reins on this one. Farlig is everywhere, whether he's inside of Heaven, Secret, or now apparently the bottom of ramp. Buddy owns this map, but they have used Hell to Heaven. A quick readjustment here from Fnatic that puts Crystal in question. He stops it all though, 3-piece. As they try to fall down on him, they never touch the dirt. 16-15 for Godsent.
Yeah, absolutely crushed here as they try to subvert expectations once again, take ramp to Heaven this time to approach A from another perspective. Definitely not a weak strategy to try to implore, but Crystal is all too ready. And Farlig makes it difficult from the get-go with that ramp hold. And as you mentioned, he's been everywhere. Spots feel like they're changing up on the fly. Finally, an opening kill here for JW, but immediately answered back by Farlig. And he has been stopping Brolin, most importantly, outside.
Good point. Yeah, Brolin has been countered at the start of each of these rounds. That's why we got to overtime to begin with. And that's why Godsent are winning OT at the moment.
So if we're Fnatic, putting ourselves in their shoes, you know, their Godsent have very good lockdown on all of these spots right now. Ramp must be scary. I think you want to throw some attention to ramp to make sure Farlig can't do this, but even when you try to do that, it just incentivizes him to come forward, and it looks like he's ready for another kill, and JW looks like he's got nothing to lose. Almost there to peek Farlig on top of it. Flesha trade with the HE as he's been known to do, but it's still, they're down. Ooh. And JW actually starts to make a case for it. But Stiko rips his head off while he's just trying to land on the floor. He's in the air trying to get down the ramp. Stiko peeks in for a moment.
It's like a defenseless baby bird.
Oh, that's a brutal visualization, but that's probably what it felt like. JW just thinking, man, I should have held that angle for one more second, is what you're telling me.
Whoa, they're gonna crush him. They're just gonna straight up rush. Madden swings the door open right away. Flash is great, but they don't capitalize on it. Now, Flesha, he's just playing with his grenades here. Got to get your gun back out. He's just dying in the middle of the bomb site, and that's Godsent. Take it 17.
Sometimes it looks like genius. Sometimes it looks like madness.
Yeah,
it always looks like Flesha. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they got it close. Everything was a 2-on-3 or 4, and they almost brought the trades back in. Yeah. Final timeout. Maybe they saw OT on the horizon, put one in the back pocket, and Fnatic can chill and talk about this. But they've got a number. See, the thing is, the real frustrating part is that there are a number of ways that they can get opening fights without pushing, because Godsent are doing them a favor by giving them those fights. But it's like Farlig is winning those fights. JW is never the one to see him. Golden Boy. Golden had 367 utility damage and 20 enemies flashed in regulation. The most on the server. In the server on both. That's a very nice stat. That's 3.5 whole people.
Many men.
Many men.
Here we go. Last chance. Final attempt on the T side of overtime for Fnatic. I mean, it was some nice opping from JW to get them over towards ramp last round. J-Dubs in for the trade. Flush us, spamming smoke. He has been such a nuisance in doing so. But Nico's on the back of this bomb site. He falls, he sees two, drops both bodies. And now that's a man advantage in for Godsent. But Zen, nail in the coffin as he slides in from Mini. Blonders, they tried the same thing that they used at the end of regulation in their final T round of OT, and it works out about just as well. Falling flat is Fnatic, not a single T round. So if it's not double overtime here on Godsent's map choice, it's Godsent one map away from eliminating Fnatic.
Can't believe how consistent and good they look, how aware Zen is, how good Farlick has been on the op, how amazing Sticko has been as an anchor. Unreal. Not just doing it on the ecos on ramp.
Ooh, very nice. I was just about to say, JW kind of putting smoke at his own face, but he comes out better for it. Golden charged down by Stiko and Zen. A deadly duo down the ramp towards the B bomb site. Brolin cautious that maybe this is still the A site, and by calling out the mini player, they have a little bit of a confirmation here. It's not quite clear as to where that bomb's got off to. And right now, it's with Zen. He's walking across the rafters of the B site. Stiko holding for the op, and JW walking into the headlights just gets creamed on the highway to a loss because it's man advantage here for Godsent. They're on the site. Crims, he's got the grenades to try and disturb this post plant, but it looks like Zen might come right for him. Opening up the door, Crims tries to spam through, nearly getting the kill, but the frag grenade's gonna miss the mark. The Molotov behind the smoke's not going to do anything either. And this bomb nearly halfway gone as Stiko still holds the same corner. He welcomes Brolin in, shuts him down. Crims 1 versus 3 finds nothing further. And Godsent pick up map 1. 19-15. They were losing 1 round to 6 at the start of their T side in the first half, and even that they clawed back to 8-7. This is just a great showing from a lot of unproven talent, and that really excites me for this series. But
amazing.
But it's not over yet. Fnatic, if they've earned anything across their years of experience, it's our respect in terms of their resilience. So can they bring it back? Are there lessons to be learned? We'll find out after the break.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey, Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you going to want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you going to be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're going to want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
Pressure's rising deep inside it. Feel the tension. There is so much you do to me. I could mention sparks fly, even when I touch your shoulder. Can feel it. I feel your heartbeat, and I wanna take you over. I wanna take you. There's something taking over me. Lust, what it is, what it is, what it is, what. Lust, what it is, what it is, what. Passion, growing every time I feel inspired. On a mission, and I don't wanna tell when tired. 'Cause you've got flavors like I have never. I'm so hungry. I'm so sure that you've got just what it is. Satisfy me. There's something taking over me. Lust, what it is, what it is, what it is, what. Lust, what it is, what it is, what it is, what. Lust, what it is, what it is, what it is, what. Lust, what it is, what it is, what. There's something taking over me. Lust, I just can't help myself. 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 Take it now. Lust, I just can't help myself. Take it now. Lust, I just can't help myself. Take it now. Lust, I just can't help.
All the rounds and some more as we hit overtime between Godsent and Fnatic on the opening game that they needed to secure the opening win here. But they've got to seal the deal in two to try and get this job done if they want to defy everything that we thought was possible. We were 100% behind the Fnatic camp, step it up. But guys, they're still not looking great, the Fnatic team.
No, and there's two sides to the story, Blair. One is the Fnatic still not playing up to the level we expect them to. It was clear throughout the entire game, I feel. I don't know where to put my finger at. Everything just seems a bit off. I think Golden, there was a few times on towards ramp when he was hanging around a little bit too long. At least he felt confident enough to do it, but that's not the Golden that we know, right? It seems to me like that's a player who's trying a little bit extra in order to get it going for them. And when you try that extra mile instead of rely on the team, then all of a sudden you fall apart. The other side of this story is Farley, coming in as only the second match for this lineup, being so versatile, being so good in this setup on a map like Nuke. I am highly, highly impressed by the Danish dude, dropping 31 frags and doing the dirty stuff to Fnatic. That is highly impressive.
He was also the only player to go positive yesterday in the loss they suffered against FaZe as well. So him stepping up today in this win. And let's not take anything away from Zen and Sticko. Sticko, I think he got 27 kills there, obviously overshadowed by Farlig. But the number of multi-kills he got, which pretty much nailed him the rounds over there. And one more thing which Farlig was very instrumental in was shutting down Broland with the outer side. Broland was so very quiet, one of the youngsters in the server. And he was just getting neutralized by Farlig. So I felt like Godsent played their game plan pretty well. The individuals stepped up as well. And considering that, like they said, Farlig is the new addition, and Nuke, your CD side, you need his protocols in order. They were just playing the individuals, and it still made it look good.
And I'm glad you brought it up, right? Because you look towards Crystal as well. We didn't even get to mention his name. He's an in-game leader that right now is leading by example. Just by the statistics right there, he was involved in 10 opening duels. He's so aggressive. He's constantly trying to create this space for the rest of the team to thrive, and he's doing a hell of a good job of doing that. So Crystal, we gotta give him a lot of credit as well. It's also him facilitating the fact that Farley can play up to the level that he is right now. So I am highly impressed.
But you've still got to be able to step up on the day. And usually we praise the Swedes of being very good when it comes to online Counter-Strike. Now we are moving towards their map pick of Inferno, right? So this is a crazy one for me because Godsent can definitely play it. They showed us yesterday what they were able to achieve on it. So if you're Fnatic right now, what on earth can you do against this?
I'm worried for Fnatic. This Inferno game yesterday, they looked very, very shaky on it. The comps are all over the place. I thought we'd see a different Fnatic today. And like Pim mentioned, a lot of individuals stepping up. They won, going to overtime, they won 2 clutches to go to overtime. And none of the clutches actually went the way of Godsent. That's how scrappy it was of an affair. And a team like Fnatic coming in here, and they just might pull off a mouse sports banks and just go to bottom of the table. This is a must-win match. It's a must-win map. If it doesn't go their way, they have a lot of questions ahead of them. And I think this is, I mean, I wouldn't say this is it for Fnatic. We still have a lot of time ahead of them, but this is a big question mark right now. What is going on in the Fnatic camp? I want to see an answer right now on this map.
Yeah, they really have to deliver and show us in their best form that we would have seen. Yes, it's only the second game, but there's going to be no chances if they can't manage to get the win here against Godsent. I am really feeling like they're in an awkward situation here, but we're going to find out how it will go down because Inferno's coming up next after the break. You'll be back with Scrawny and Launders. Make sure you're back because this game could deliver.
Godsent sitting pretty now with a map in their back pocket. They take Nuke to overtime. They win it out. And now we fall onto Inferno. Tell me, Mohan, based on this second map, based on Inferno come up next, do you think that's the solution Fnatic need right now?
I think it's what... No, I actually don't. I think they're going to frame that differently. But what Banks said about Fnatic's performance on Inferno, plus what Godsent can do, I think there's a good chance that this could be a 2-0 right here and now. We know this is Fnatic's pick, but not an uncomfortable map for Godsent, and a map that we all know and love so much. So hopefully we do see some good CS out of Fnatic. I mostly just want to see some more life. It feels like I was talking about it with Bled during the break, and it's hard to put our finger on why Fnatic didn't look like themselves, and it felt like they were standing in the right spots, but they were out of sync.
Out of sync. I like the sounds of that. Crims and JW syncing up for a couple of kills early here towards the B site. Crims blowing Crystal away just through the edge of the coffins. So the pistol seems to be that of Fnatic, starting off this T side strong, charging up B, not slowing down, going one better. I think Crims is pissed, and that's not somebody I want angry at me.
No, not someone who's that bald with that kind of hand tattoo for sure.
Like
it's not
Swedish
somebody.
Punisher.
You want to have someone like that on your side at all times, definitely. And yeah, when Crims gets mad, I think he's one of those players who definitely does ramp it up. Not that he lagged behind at all in that first map, and in general on this roster, he's literally one of the most consistent players on the frickin' planet. He's so good, and there it is, 4 kills to prove it. But out of sync in the sense that maybe it's the communication is out of sync with the positioning, or the fact that they're not fired up and putting themselves in very dangerous spots, but not playing as Fnatic do and are able to be aware. They're just like lagging behind. I feel like in terms of how they would normally act, and yeah, that's a lot of good damage here to Godsent as they're on the defensive. Some good damage in response. But it is just the 2 MAC 10 players to take the brunt of it.
Yeah, all things considered, I'd still rather be Fnatic. Crims trying to spam the smoke close A. He does have a player taken to the top of the pallet. So all is good. Farlig, Deagle shot connects to the head of JW, so that's 1 casualty versus Fnatic. But look, they don't have to rush this. There's still a minute to play, so they're gonna just call it off.
Yeah, rotates will begin to drift over towards B. If they do it, they should probably do it together. They've sussed out all the info at top mid, still hoping that it's going to be A. But now that Crystal, has heard all of this commotion over on the B side, they'll take their attention over here as well. And there's a player up on the,
nice.
Up on the oranges, yeah. I thought for some reason he would die.
Crims has other ideas.
Yeah.
Starting off this second map, 6-0. We also saw Fnatic have a 5-0 lead at the start of Nuke, only to close the half with a 1-round differential. So, a classic example of strong starts and fizzle outs by the time of the half ends. For now,
it's true.
We wait, because this one is going the way of Fnatic, undoubtedly. Godsent just holding off in case anybody exits through CT. You know, if they want to throw away their guns, then you just stand here with open arms and try and take them. But nobody heads their way, so 4 survivors here for Fnatic. Great start, but no real contest as of yet.
Definitely. Only recovered the MAC 10. Stop it off. Nice trades here by Crimson. Click. Good by Crystal.
If only it was always that easy.
Yeah. Sometimes it is, and that's probably why we continue to play. Make up for all the pugs that don't go so well. You have those moments where everything just makes sense. The shots go in. Sometimes you put your cross in the right place, the shots don't go in. Some days you do it, and every single time you turn a corner, you get a kill. That's just how it goes sometimes. Flesha, he wants it. Oh, wow. Long range Zeus. It's a couple with Madden's peak with the Deagle. 3-on-3, and Crims is hurt. They are stacked on the correct site. Pushing into the fire is Farlig, not afraid whatsoever. And there's still one last line of defense here. And I don't think he's made any noise.
I think that has to be one of the most aggravating feelings in Counter-Strike Go, is when you Zeus somebody for like 80 damage. Because that's exactly what just happened for Crystal. Unfortunate. But, whoa, hold your horses. Yeah, both these players incredibly low. Depends on the one shot. Depends who hits the first bullet. Crims, he's creeping to the left, and Madden, oh my god, he's got back around the cover. Crims turns, though, and he's ready. Fnatic, a third. But what costs? And out of nowhere.
And an incredible cost, because it's 3 AKs, maybe 4, because there was one person who died with the MAC 10 that last round. So yeah, that's a lot of money to have been dropped. Flusha is buying a UMP with $3,000 left over. Excuse me?
Yeah,
He's...
Who am I to judge him?
I don't know. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, who are any of us to judge him? But like, what the heck? And JW's going up front too. I mean, Golden getting hit in the back. Flusha getting his nade damage in as he normally does. And it's just a series of tragic events for Fnatic as Godsent. Now we're up 5-2.
Could that have gone any worse?
No, it really couldn't have. Yeah, there's not much damage to show for it. They haven't drawn out a significant amount of grenades. The only map control they have is top banana, which is no surprise to Godsent. What?
I don't know. Crystal destroyed by Brolin, who's just creeping, crawling around the corners trying to lock it in, but it is Madden to enact revenge there. 1 kill versus Crystal as he played behind the fountain. Let's keep our eyes on this one. Madden just shutting down the first player as he comes around the smoke. Quick trade, sprays away. All in a day's work. He is 6-2 at the moment. That's Crim's first death, by the way, was 7-0 before he finally fell. Godsent break onto the board, and they do so in convincing fashion. So much so that they're just going to charge straight down middle versus the pistols on the other side here. Stico denied. Flusha getting the Deegan. Now Farley, he's going to be overwhelmed by the CZ of Brolin, and out of nowhere, we've got Godsent throwing rounds away. Hold on now.
Yeah, we've got a real round. The double
it's a close one.
Oh my God, Madden, not aware of the thought that there could be a flank. The trades go out pretty well. In fact, the last person remaining is Crystal, and he's going to be limited on information. He runs over towards the A site. The bomb's already being planted, or it's just being held as they potentially wait. And Crystal is just walk right into their crosshairs. Looks like JW finally put the... he knows what the plant is as well. It's not on default. He's totally aware of this. JW.
Smoke saves JW. That's what gets him out of here. Crystal, he's just going to jump back onto this. He has another smoke if he needs it. JW. Oh no, Crystal just makes him look like a fool, and he's lucky to get away with his life. But what is that clutch?
He didn't even drop his grenade that he had in his hand. Which I don't... man... I don't know how to make sense of what just happened. Another round, crazy. Madden comes out, does almost the same thing. Crystal pushes it to completion there, and I mean, smartly played by Crystal, I guess. It's the smoke he forced out of JW, knowing JW has an op, knowing since he's low HP, this could be a really long and overly complicated clutch, or he could just dive and see if he can dodge 1 or 2 op shots, and not even a single one comes in. Whatever, I guess.
Unbelievable. Crystal pulls out some of the most incredible clutches sometimes, but
he does.
Speak of him, he just gets turned back around at the base of B. Gets a little excited there. Thought he could find himself behind Fnatic with backs turned, but now they're going to use that 1 kill versus him to charge straight in on Madden. He gets one through the smoke, a little bit further damage versus Golden, so everybody's in the 70s for Fnatic. Gonna put down another Molotov, trying to keep them inside of construction. Buys a little bit of time here, but nobody's actually able to get off of the bomb site. So it's still just Brolin back towards B, seeing nothing. And Godsent are gonna have to start considering a save. Oh, they're gonna walk away in the 4v4. Unreal.
Yeah, they just didn't have any retake utility, plus the off to worry about. And Madden got 1 kill playing in a very retake position. Like, he's not in the site looking to try to defend and get 2 and risk dying. Instead, he's really just hoping to get 1, which he did through the smoke, but stay alive. But yeah, they just didn't have any retake utility. Might not have been aware of how little retake utility his team had, to be fair, but certainly a better situation here for Godsent to save to bring it to the next one than try that again. Now, they need to probably tighten up a bit if they want to win these rounds. Like, letting these kills go at the bottom of banana ultimately is going to allow Fnatic to just take a lead in the game, because, you know, they even brought those 2 1v2s very close, and even though Godsent split and won one of them, they probably shouldn't have. And a lot of that is because it's early round. It's just it's a bit too haphazard in the Godsent camp, pushing down, overextending.
From the Boiler player to tag up Stiko on his retreat. Brolin doesn't give him a chance to breathe, and that's a trade frag. So sure, they lose Crims, but they're better off for it. Doubling back to grab the bomb, and this is going to be another round where Godsent just forfeit. 3 survivors on the B site. They're not going to move.
Yeah, they had no arch presence whatsoever. They had the 3 towards B, the aggressive hall set up for info. Crims does enough to get a kill, and you know, once Stiko gets spotted, they know no one's in halls anymore. They know their one player is frantically trying to get to pit, so he's probably concerned about A. And then they also have pushed for top mid control, so there's nothing to worry about on arch as well. Checkmate for Fnatic. Not really a lot going in the favor of Godsent after that point. So a bit strange that they committed so hard 3 to B when there was really no action over here, but I think they came out with the early gamble stack in the hopes that Fnatic would rocket back and that their A players would stay alive. But that didn't happen. That did not happen at all. They save their guns. It's again, not the worst situation. I mean, losing the round with 3 up and the last round with 4 up means that you keep your economy.
Seems so. I would say there's been a couple of quite confident plays. I would say Crims going for that peak alone is one of them. And then we saw the follow-up from the Boiler player. But pick on their weakness. Fnatic have lost their last 3 on Inferno, but Godsent were on an 8 losing streak before they beat FaZe yesterday. So Fnatic probably watching that matchup, knowing they'd have this game today. They saw the formula for Godsent's success, and it seems they've created the counter recipe thus far. Hit them where it hurts. I like that.
Even though Godsent look good, they still have, you know, relatively very inconsistent. And JW arm is being shown. Whoa, chance there for a kill. And he's pushed off into the corner. Crystal wanted that fight badly.
Line of sight. Brolin's line of sight. And now I wonder where they take this.
This is like the opposite of helium that you've ingested. Pull out a voice like this.
I like Zen's a little bit of aggression here. He wants the information because Fnatic have fallen silent, but that silence is now deafening because it's definitely the opening they needed on the A site. Can they get past Stiko? He's ready for them. Posted up. 3 terrorists about to walk right into this. Brolin tries to hard clear. Stiko drops downwards. Can't maintain the spray for the 3rd one, but we're into the 1v2. Crims taps the plant 1 time, but next he needs to stick it. The CT's getting closer.
Steko so reliable on these anchor holds, man. I can't believe it. They even threw a kill away on this A side hold. Crims in the 1v2. They're sacrificing Crystal for the information. And Crims, in a moment of doubt, Madden tries to push out, and he can't get it over top of his own smoke. It slightly works against him and allows Madden into the round. Op will be picked up. Another clutch goes the way of Godsent. But what the hell is Zen doing meandering around mid? No loitering, my friend. He's pushing down mid when they're up 4-3. They don't have info on B once again. And after collecting the info at top mid, you can cheat one over through Archway. But what gives you the green light to walk down mid? It seems a bit dangerous. Maybe they're expecting some more, just way more noise from Fnatic or way more aggression. But the man advantage they had, I think, was they were in such a good spot. They were in a great spot.
Flush it through some. You love it. Crystal, who had a great opening to the last round by peeking around on Banana. You know, he took that risk by going back in with the flashbang, just jumping over top of the fire. So he was hungry for a little bit more. And I think he's now got his filling. Flusha stuffs him through the smoke. 5 versus 4 here for Fnatic. That B control starting to be given away by Godsent. They want to cheat a member. No, in fact, they want to cheat everybody over to this A site. So that deep smoke coming out of Fnatic to block off Library. Good thing they have Madden in CT spawn to try and couple with Zen, or else this would be really awkward. There's always the world of possibility where Fnatic head back towards B off Flusha. But Madden, he's got 2 bodies lined up. Successful trade frag despite losing Zen in the mix of it all. He's still standing tall, and Bomb has gone towards B. The sprint is on.
was looking like a pressurized Arch exec, but it looked like it was going to be a wrap towards B, so they're ready for this late round adjustment. Bomb gets planted. A bit more utility in the situation. Numbers have whittled down a bit more as well, so it's not quite as daunting as the 4-on-4. Nade does significant damage to Flusha. He's now 1 bullet away from death, but how long do they camp out and try to potentially retake here?
Good boost here from Stiko. He's trying to get Flush off.
He sees it, yeah.
Sees the arm, blows it open. Stiko fully blinded. Snipe's gonna miss the shot here from JW. He is very much pinned in, but still fighting back. He's got them both dead to rights. Fnatic 6-3. Fnatic doubling the score on this T side, and Fnatic dodging a bomb as they peeled off of A, sprinting over towards the B site. You have to ask yourself, you know, whether if Flusha doesn't get the kill versus Crystal through the smoke, how easy is it to get that B call rolling? How confident are they to sprint into the site 3v1 and take it by storm? That's a crucial round.
Yeah, and that's why 5v4s are everything in this game, especially at the top level. And so Crystal, I mean, he's been more than reckless on Banana, looking for the fights, but sometimes it works out great, and that just may be where Godsent's comfort zone is. If they don't get these kills, maybe they don't feel confident being able to win in the 5v5, so they force these gambits and see if Fnatic will take them, which they have been most of the time, because obviously they're always happy to fight. But yeah, I think that the strat overall was great from Fnatic. Godsent stacked towards A blind was an insane call, and ended up working out so well too, calling out the arch wrap, but not accounting for the thought of rocking it back.
Just looking to make quick work of the pistol players here. Rifles rocking it at the A bomb site. It is completely clear for the taking. So go ahead, plant your bomb, find your 7th round. This is going to be a 4-point lead for Fnatic. And I like your point there. You know, you can definitely invite Fnatic. You can coax them into taking risks because they're no strangers to it. And sometimes that can work out for you. Other times, you coax them into what you expect, and they are just simply too good to hold back. They'll run right through you if you're not cautious. And I think that running right through to the B bomb site was an awesome adjustment from Fnatic last round. Anti-eco goes the way you would expect. Not a single kill has been added to the tally for Godsent. Maybe Flusha dies. He's got 2 CTs on the other side. Madden through the smoke. Why not? Give him something to complain about as Fnatic find their 7th.
Flusha gave him an empty gun. He had to reload and he died. Yeah, Fnatic are the guys that that you see on YouTube betting their life savings on red over and over again, and accept they have some influence in whether or not they get red. Crims 12-5, strong start and a strong lead for the team overall. Again, we'll see what happens with the antics on Banana. Who comes out ahead? How aggressive is it being played for Golden? He's sticking his neck all the way out. Madden with the op gets taken out. He's got nothing to show for it. Basically no damage whatsoever. Brolin, however, gets opt on the other side of the map. And as the lurker, this does tell the CTs a thing or two. They've started now to peel off of A. But these late round rotations are probably scary from Fnatic. They aren't committing all the time to their first sight.
Very true. And it is early days. More than a minute on the clock. More than just the initial 2 CTs on B now. Ooh, wow, they're going to get aggressive. They're going to try to disrupt the setup here. Oh my goodness, Farlig calling out Flusha as he was trying to prime and give cover to the grenades. No trade back from Golden. He's just going to have to sprint away from this, pick up that bomb, and hope that his teammates can get the entries on the A site by the time he gets here, because they can't waste much time. That rotate very quickly coming back over for Godsent. It's just a straight up 3v3 on the bomb site, trading back and forth. Crims could be the difference maker. Stiko, he's going to see the smokes go up, decides to instead sprint past that op and get a little bit of map control as his teammate comes over. Tucked into the apartments even, as Farlig has a long route up mid to join him. Golden tries to get flashed into short. Could have cost him there. A little bit of missed timing. But speaking of missed timing, Farlig, he just walked out and Stiko strikes Crims out of the pit. Now Golden's position's compromised, decides to take to the top of the box, and it's Farlig with a scope up close. Godsent finding 4.
Yeah, this is the kid we keep talking about, Farlig, man. What a shot from him to push in, and Fnatic can't secure that that post plant, excuse me, even though they had such a great early to mid round there. The trades came out, and Godsent, importantly, went and recollected information at the top of Banana with Farlig in the first place. That was huge. That netted them a kill and didn't cost them anything, even though they saw a second player, tried to scoop it, but let him go, and then had to make a crazy rotation all the way over to A. And Fnatic were kind of preying on these comms, using Crims to walk out of halls. And while it's frantic in the Godsent camp, he comes out, kills Zen for free in the pit. It was just so smart from them to try to bank on the fact that Godsent were going to overstack and hasty rotate at every single turn.
Talk to me about these opening kills. Another CT dies to just the smoke spam down Banana. And it's a 4 versus 5 for Godsent to try and hold on to. Crystal was the victim last time around. Madden here in the 12th.
Yeah, they just seem to be so uncomfortable with the thought of playing a 5v5 that they keep going for it, but sometimes they find it back. And not only do they find it back, they do it with Banana presence now.
Oh, wow. The dink from Stiko, that could have been huge had he picked up the frag as he fell back. Crystal, he's trying to find something to work with, but JW's had enough. Another M4 headshot that just doesn't culminate in kills. So the question is, will Zen pop up from Graveyard and mow them all down? He starts versus Crims. Here's Farlig in with another frag. He's trying to catch the bomb on the site. He sees one running over towards the Graveyard. Brolin just hiding behind the cover, and Farlig wants him, desperate for the frag. Can't get it in just yet. He has to contemplate the save. He has to.
Yeah, he's got time, but it's the smoke that comes up in his most immediate choke point that he's like, well, I can't do anything about that. And he tried his damnedest, and what a great wallbang. I mean, he didn't hit him, but he was so damn close. I'm actually shocked that one of those two shots didn't connect. And he shot up on the same spot. If the first one had hit, he probably would have got the kill and been on for the 1v1. And Fnatic, by the skin of their teeth, win that round. I mean, that's JW getting dinked to win his duel at Arch. This could have very easily been a 2v2 without an op in play. And there was Zen who found a good spot, considering his teammate Stiko died, also dinking a player, dying through smoke to sit in the Graveyard to actually get one kill when he's surrounded, completely surrounded.
I feel like that's one of those wallbang positions that you can kind of get cheated in a way, because those bullets didn't even penetrate the other side of the wall. I jumped into the server to check. Never was he
really?
Yep, didn't penetrate.
Because it was on too much of an angle.
Yep, exactly.
Really? So he was on him.
He was directly on him.
100% needs to be fixed then. It's really
you can only wallbang that
if you're ridiculous.
Yeah,
with an
kind
op.
of pushed up from Arch. If you're on the bomb site, then it just goes straight through, but yeah, shots careening off of the wall. So Brolin safely tucked in, sitting on his round, licking his chops, happily positioned here at double the score of Godsent. Fnatic, even the 4 rounds they've given over to Godsent have not come by way of convincing fashion. Godsent picking up scraps sometimes. It's a big commitment towards the B site. It's been quite some time since we saw something like this, so very much catching Godsent by surprise. Flusha picking up the 2 kills that really matter most, cutting down the pistol players. An op on Farlig tries to run through smoke. Come on now, kid. You're playing versus JW. You think he's gonna let you get away with stuff like that? Flusha's ready. Flusha's waiting. Flusha's looking good.
They finally come through like a tempest into the B site, rushing fast. Stiko, another Constellation frag. Oh, and an op as well. He doesn't have enough health to survive. So, I mean, they don't know. They might try to fight him or just keep him in place. It's definitely not a great position to be in. Stiko, you might as well look for a kill, and he does get one. There's also a chance here to grab a third, but JW wins with the USP, and with that, gets out alive. Madden MP9 alone. Fnatic up 9-4, and it's always interesting to take a look at the half and try to discern where the small advantages are and all of those things, and what the half would look like if you extended it another 15 rounds. But in Counter-Strike, obviously all that matters how you perform in those 15 rounds. And even though Godsent have done some really cool stuff, because they haven't tightened up in certain spots in the early rounds, they've really risked it too much, I think, for the CT side to be able to sustain an economy. And could have had some 5v4s if they weren't aggressive in two places at once. Here's Flusha with just his Mac 10, every reason in the world to run through fast on the other side of his Molotov, but happy to take the fights. And they've attracted the attention of the CTs.
Yeah, Farlig most notably shows up, shuts down Flusha, who's having a little bit too much fun running through Molotovs, smack 10ing players down. Eventually, Fnatic, they're going to get that bomb over here towards the A site. Godsent are calling out the stack properly. So, 2 men inside of the bomb site, and Zen to try and nip at the heels of the T's around short. Great damage being done. Stiko's coming in with big kills. Him and Zen, 2 frags apiece. Blink, and you miss it. How did that happen?
I couldn't tell you. An indomitable defense on the A site. They mount it. And, man, I was just looking at the stats from their FaZe match. FaZe had him up 10-5 on their T side, and Godsent came back and won.
Of Inferno.
Of Inferno.
Oh.
So we have a lot to see about Godsent's T side.
I'm excited.
Yeah, they're probably fine with this. And in a 5v4 with no trade back.
Damn, Stiko just gunning him down. No footing whatsoever offered over to Fnatic. 9 rounds is enough, Godsent seems to think. Gonna stop him right here. And what's a beautiful thing to think about is, of course, the fact that, as you had just alluded to, that match with FaZe on Inferno, you know, not only knowing that you can claw back
будущее. Будущее наступило неожиданно быстро.
Прямо сейчас?
Вот. Вот он, GV. Да, не увидели момент, просто фраг под GV, но он решил не откладывать долгий ящик, как-то там не события не оттягивать, просто вышел с банана, встретил соперника и получил по голове.
Это мы с источника на источник, да, видимо, перепрыгнули?
Ну, наверное.
Скорее всего. Ну, ребята, вы тоже замечаете, местами сигнал доходит не так четко, как хотелось бы.
Но доходит, это главное. Главное, что вообще сегодня мы получили опыт, не пропадает свет, и это уже хорошо.
Да подожди, тихо. Не надо.
Down the B play for the time being. You could see Godsent trying to get up there quickly. They even had the bomb ready to go, but that smoke makes them a little too nervous. So they change directions. They're going to head towards the A site. And the problem with this is that there's just as many smokes here to be used.
That's a good point. Yeah. The utility's still looking solid. Arch wrap on the cards. Ooh, JW peels off from his post, which opens up the arch completely. Not really a fake here that's pulled them off. They're just gambling it, as you do with the pistols. So that leaves two men in pit to have to work together. And because they're limited on info, Brolin was just going to try to take arms with the player on lane. And Crims can't do much more than that. And from that point, they're just going to decide to save because they know they've got a very unfun round coming up and they like to try again. But more on even terms before the sites are taken.
Before the gun rounds really get rolling.
Yeah.
JW's movement there on Arch, very clearly from our perspective, with the advantage of obviously radar, X-ray, and the works. You know, we're all playing on easy mode here. But him moving away from Arch just moments before Godsent walk around it. And I mean, you could see how Brolin was just wrecked. If Brolin was even closer on short A, then maybe he could cut off one side of that hit and Crims could have shoulder peeked to see them coming in. But Brolin caught in no man's land. They kick the door open. He's got his pants around his ankles and it's all shut down. So that's a 8th for Godsent. Bomb blows up, 4 survivors. They keep their AKs, they keep the MAC-10. And as said, JW just wants to move forward with the scout because this round, number 18, it's not going to be any more fun.
Oh.
As requested.
Farlig, it means dangerous in Danish and Swedish and Norwegian. Wow.
Danger, man.
He's scary in 3 countries.
But only those 3 countries.
Scandinavia's most wanted. I think he lives up to the name constantly.
Madden peeking around. He's got the help of the flames to maintain CTs at bay. Flusha, dunk it on him. Boom. Not too bad. Could have been better. Could have been worse. As is the nature of grenades. Stiko tries to spam the smoke, but actually dies to the deagle of Crims. JW.
Oh, beautiful.
Look at that. Look at that kill feed. Through the smoke, through the wall, through the head. Zen is dead. And JW's scout was worth keeping for that one frag alone. It's a 3 versus 3. They have the entirety of the T's corralled on this bomb site. And I mean, really, what do they have to lose? They've got to buy back in the next round anyways. If I'm them, I'm trying to make this happen. Give Godsent this false sense of confidence. Make them think maybe you're on for the save. And then smack them when there's just enough time left over. There's no kit, though. They start to get going and JW's down. It's not looking good for just these pistol players. Just looking to rack up costs versus Godsent at this point. Forfeiting the 9th round, allowing the T's to tie at 9 apiece. Farlig, you disgust me in all the right ways.
Yeah, very much dangerous. Very dangerous. Licorice. A very dangerous man.
I thought, honestly, I thought you were trying to combine danger with Danish, and I was really impressed.
Oh.
Yeah, you could have, if you were smooth, you could have walked away with that one.
Dangerous. Okay. All right. Well, I think I'll only be able to say that by accident from now on, but if my tongue doesn't get twisted, I might try it again. 9 and 9. And so, I almost said that 3 times. Okay. JW, he's falling back. They've got the banana nades going both ways, but Godsends haven't taken any damage. So the nades don't work out so well by Fnatic.
Taking banana. It's all theirs. For free. Smoke towards the coffins. Flusha, first oranges. Golden back behind him. Between these two B defenders, they have a single smoke.
Yeah.
It is not going to be a fun day. Farlig, he's on the front side of this T hit. And it's a slight bit of damage versus Golden. Flush is going to activate with that ump. Only good for the one. Madden takes to the high ropes. And Golden, he is still back behind Nubox. So well timed. He just waits. But because he had to wait for his teammates to combine on that pinch, it gives the chance for JW to answer back with the op frag, keeping us even here. 3 versus 3, but watch the radar. Stiko, he's coming for you. The question will be, to the CT move forward too fast. Farlig missing the first one, follows up the double push here from Brolin. He's trying to trade, but no way. Godsent in the lead.
Farlig gets robbed again. First the wall bang into Graveyard. That kill, how on earth is that not directly in him? That's a tweet directly at the devs. But then he comes out for the repeak and really could have lost the round there if he ends up dying. But of course, Farlig is confident, is happy to try it, and that allows Godsent to get to double digits officially in this map before Fnatic, even after that fantastic start to the game. Fnatic with the pistols looking to do more utility damage. Oh my god. It's like that kill is like the point in the game where you're like, this was a team that was struggling, and then all of a sudden it feels like now it's the other team that's going to be struggling.
That's like, that's Golden just saying, I'm not having fun anymore, guys.
No, yeah.
And it's not going to get any more fun if Godsent start adding rounds against Fnatic, because remember, this is elimination. Due to the matchup outcomes, there is no chance for Fnatic to qualify if they lose this BO3. They're already trailing by a map, and now they're trailing by 1 round. And it's looking like a second because just the 3 pistol players left. They're trying to sprint over to the A site as quick as they can. We have seen some wild antics with pistols so far this map. Let's see if Brolin's CZ is enough. Just the 1 kill. Now the next man, Flusha's pinned into the Moto, so he is doomed. JW way too outnumbered to make anything happen here. He's trying versus Zen. The 1v1 doesn't go his way. An 11th for Godsent. And I think the scoreline mirrors this situation. Somebody call for help.
Yeah, they need to immediately. Never forget those 3 digits. But what's cool is also Madden was great on Nuke. He just wasn't a focal point because of Zen, Farlig, and Stiko. But he was hitting shots, and now he's taking charge. He's up 20 and 10. He's got the most kills on the server, way more kills than anyone on Fnatic, honestly. Crystal's here, taking a lot of damage as this player ends up doing quite often. Just have to look at the mini-map to see the kind of stuff that goes on Banana to fight for early control. Golden falls back, gets Crystal out of the round. And that's definitely something nice here for Fnatic. It was B antics that didn't work out so well last time. They draw the smoke out nice and early, which is kind of a big win for Godsent, depending on how the rotations go from here on out. And oh, a little bit of blood spatter on the wall. But the rotation isn't around from CT to Graveyard, or CT to Construction to the Coffins. Crim's in a good spot to get a kill. Yeah, Stiko's holding this.
Off the flash. Nicely done. Great little bit of teamwork there. JW and Crims sensing Stiko's near. The question really becomes, can Madden crack open the B site? It cost them health to fight for Banana early. Madden, he's going to try to cut off that rotator in JW, but Golden from the boxes locks it down. Fnatic going to keep them within 1 round. They do not want Godsent with momentum.
Definitely. Very strong hold from the beginning to the end. Golden obviously doing that damage to Crystal allowed him to win that fight in the first place with those early B grenades. Godsent wants to take on the fight of this early Banana control. They are going to have to run through a hell of a lot of utility. Fortunately for both teams, they have enough money to try it. It just depends on how random do they want the round to be. Crystal taking a lot of damage once again. What caught your attention?
All those grenades. I saw like 8 trajectories of utility.
Yeah.
Looked like some sort of like, lasered obstacle course. Mission Impossible to take the top of B.
At some point, if they see all of this banana presence early on, they're going to try to rush up mid. This is obviously the easiest response when you know there's 3B. I think they might have considered it this round, but didn't expect Fnatic to try the same thing again. So overall, this works out quite well. As we can see from Godsent, they have dropped most of their utility belts. Down to 3 smokes, 2 flashes, no Molotovs to use for quad if they want to take on the B site. JW is really the only one who stayed the most patient on the utility, but it's also because he's very deep in the A site. Archsmoke is correct. As we can see, no one's spotting lane here. So they get the most value out of this. The 2 smokes will go into B. They have to commit. They don't have smokes to fake.
We saw this Crims versus Stiko situation last time, and Stiko tries to keep through. I love that Crims makes a bunch of noise. You know, it kind of draws Stiko into the open, only for JW to cut him down. Great crossfire. Crims just pummeling damage through that smoke. So Farlig, he's just going to try to punch in the digits here. That one op in his hands, poised for the 1v3. Now, this is a good corner to hold because you get shadow advantage, but he wants to cut off players before they all come in accumulatively. Section him off. Cut him down. He's dodged the first 2.
This. Yeah.
No. They're turned the wrong way. That's enabled him to get the first. He expects the peak, but it's just moments too late. Crims comes wide as Farlig turns his attention. Fnatic 2 in a row. Fnatic tied at 11. This map still too close to call.
I'd love to know how much damage Crims did that round, because he only gets the 2 kills, but he keeps spamming them as they're crossing, making this the most annoying execute of all time. As we can see, even Farlig getting tagged down. So it's fitting that Crims is the one to finish him off at quad. But ultimately, like, he's the reason it's a 1v3 in the first place with that rotation and the spam. And as you brought up, Crims running from Arch and then JW catching Stiko. That cannot be a coincidence.
I didn't realize until the round came to a close and we watched back those highlights, but Farlig, he was doing everything there in the 22nd round. He had gotten the 3 frags. The entirety of Godsent posted would have been the 8th to try and clutch, but a fight from the ops. Neither comes out on top. Just a warning shot over the bow.
It's severely unfavored fight for him to take there, to dry peek the coffins like that. And he's got a pristine peak. I mean, he's coming into this extremely tight angle that they just have to sit on. He has to pre-fire it perfectly and gets the shot off. Luckily he lives. But my God, he has got real courage.
This is it. This is going to be the straight up B commit. Fnatic still just 2 players here. Golden, Flim Pillar to try and fight back from. Golden's able to burn Crystal to a crisp. And now that flashbang does kind of delay things just momentarily. Flush is trying to find eyes up. Wow, the audio cue is enough for him to get down Madden, who had just jumped over with minimal HP. Denied anything further. Farlig, he's ready for it, but Zen's also scoped up with the op. It's the double sniper combo on the site, doing damage. JW's trying to find a pick back, but Zen peeks as the op's on cycle. Brolin, 1 versus 3. With the first headshot, he calls out the right position for the smoke. That's going to enable him to start moving forward. Farlig, last seen behind Coffin, so he should have an idea, but he doesn't have the kill, and they no longer have this tied. Godsent, 12-11.
I'm loving what we're seeing from Godsent here. 2 really important things. They go ahead with the same B exec, but they don't do it with too much mid control, so it doesn't alarm rotates just yet. And then also, they have Stiko not lurk this round, so he's one of the 2 players left over in the clutch to make sure they can win. As opposed to losing 1 on the banana control, not having 5v5 on the entry, and then having Stiko die late round on Arch, trying to sell a fake when it only alarmed the rotations. That's scary for Fnatic. Godsent have made some really smart adjustments.
Another one. Look at the pace, look at the tempo. Trying to charge headstrong into the Arch side. This is versus the pistols, but they are very close to these smokes. Golden through. screws Crystal out of the round, forces what's left of Godsent to just try and charge up onto the A site, but here comes Crims. 1 kill off the 5-7, still a chance, but nope, Zen, he's starting to connect between the eyes. 2 CTs die, and Flusha has to run. Takes his frustration out on the chicken. Mac 10 on his back, 13th round on the board for Godsent. They are shooting for a 2-0 and an elimination versus Fnatic. Who would have expected this? We've already seen Mouse Sports fall to the wayside. If Fnatic, another heavily favored team, were to join them, I would say we are in a very new world of Counter-Strike.
And we could see the path for Godsent to win this game. We see the B problem for Fnatic. We see the solutions coming out for Godsent. We don't know what Fnatic are going to do in response to it. And we don't know if Godsent are going to continue to go B, but they know that they have the ability to do it. So it's really scary to think about this from the perspective of Fnatic. We don't know what their adjustment's going to be, but we know they need to make one. It's common for teams to, despite the knowledge that it's going to be a B exec, play still 2 on the site and wait and rely on the hold. But the one thing they can't rely on is that spam to come in so consistently from Crims from CT spawn. So if you're Godsent, you're ignoring that completely. You think, well, hopefully he doesn't spam us down. Let's focus on getting the entries, and probably most of the time we'll win. Dangerous indeed. Map 1 was Farlick's 5th 30-kill game on Nuke in 2020 alone. A great map for him.
What?
But it really feels like his performances are map agnostic. There's something about the way he plays and just his attitude that I think is the most important thing. Knowing when to peek, feeling comfortable peeking, going out for opening kills. All these things are allowing him to take a lot of fights. And because he believes in that, he also delivers the kills.
Ooh, so ready. Glad we kept our eyes. Oh no. Oops.
Unfortunately, that's the life of you. That's even if you're not going to try to take the fight at the top of Banana, that is going to be your life as a player that has to jump out to Banana. I mean, it's really hard not to take damage, but yeah.
Thing is, a smoke did go down. That's one of those frags. I was looking at like an aerial replay, because I definitely heard the swooshing of an extinguished fire, but I don't think it spread entirely.
He could have got cheated by the interaction, or it could have been a second Molotov he didn't realize he was standing on.
Interesting.
That's true. Sharp eye today, Connor. Got the graveyard wall bang. Smoke molly interactions not panning out. Identifying all the bugs.
And doing nothing about them.
Just yelling about them.
Yeah, sitting here patiently.
Looks like B's on the menu again. And but this time Crims is okay.
Wow.
Well, that's it. I mean, take a B, right? You killed Crims.
You'd think, but Flush, he's got other ideas. Finds Madden coming out of the closest of the cubbies. He is still very much just one player. You would think there'd be a second, but I think Flusha, he's going to welcome this challenge. Bring it. Oh. He gets fired out of his position, down to the 30 HP. He panics enough to call for some sort of help, and who would blame him? So much utility committed by Godsent. They run this back with 10 seconds to spare. Brolin has to come up big. They just need to deny the bomb, and it goes from bad to worse. Godsent, all they had to do was kill Flusha with 30 HP. He was no longer in cover. He had been burned out of the open. And yet they tried to big brain.
Okay, number 1, don't die in the 4v3, and then you can commit to whatever site you want. It works out great. Number 2, great from Fnatic to not rotate. And specifically from Flusha, because the A guys don't know. Flusha said, don't rotate. He didn't hear anything more. He didn't hear any footsteps. He said, just chill. I'll be fine. He has 20 health and he makes that call. Not many people would be willing to say that. Yeah, and he has to gamble. So, I mean, most of the time what you'd see in that situation, one rotator hard and commit to B, and then 10 seconds left, yeah, but maybe only one player on A, and so it's legitimate rotation.
Exactly.
But Fnatic make them look stupid for it, but it's because they're just so confident and not going to bite.
And a world where, you know, I see that working way better if Godsent had at least one of their players still, say, already at the top of mid when the other two were at the bottom of Banana, or somebody was inside of the apartment so that they could give cover versus Roland's position. But all 3 of Godsent's players came sprinting up lane, side by side, shoulder to shoulder, and got cut down. So That was a rough round to watch, especially considering it puts us into this one. A bit of a write-off here in the 26th. It was just the pistols, so as expected, a calamity of corpses here at the top of mid. A dog pile of death.
They even had a bad smoke that they were working with at the top of Banana and the 4VX, so they could have just, once they got Crims, I mean, that's a free entry. So, I mean, all I have to do is go 1 for 1. That point, they knew the rotations were coming in. So yeah, Godsent, like, well, certainly we can't go B again. Nope, you can. You can. Definitely, they should just play up the information that they have, probably. Unless they have more time, you know, unless they have a little bit more time. So here, Zen's a bit low on the utility kit. We'll see if Crystal ends up getting killed at the beginning of the round. Again, JW falls off an angle as they don't peek towards mid. And I think Zen was just a little bit worried about that level of mid control. Takes 3 damage from that very particular grenade. You know, you've got to be in a certain position for that to do any damage.
I do have an appreciation for Godsent throwing away that rotate, though, because it does keep this game as close as can be. Keeps it interesting a la max. We've got some smoke grenades popping down over towards... Oh, is that? Yeah, okay. I was going to say. Oh!
Whoa, okay. Yeah, well, he does die again at the beginning of the round. This time, a little less fair.
Dirt nasty on the timing. Molotov meant to go deep into the apartments, but it actually gets extinguished. So following it up with a frag will chip some health off Stiko. 3 defenders here for Fnatic. Arch entirely open, but all the damage, fantastic. Brolin just melting Madden. As they tried to posture themselves on lane, JW nearly slain, but he falls back into the site. Smoke everywhere. Threat looming near. And Godsent, they have to make a decision here. They don't even have the bomb. They're going to walk away to save. This is it. 14-13, Fnatic back in the lead.
Yeah, I'm just a bit disappointed. I feel like I think they missed their smoke on the stairs on the site. I'm not sure if it was supposed to land more properly on default, but then that denied them line of sight. And then they're going lane in the 5v5 when they've seen all their success on B. It's another round where Fnatic aren't even over-rotating towards B. They're really just, Godsent think that they're in Fnatic's head when they're not. And Fnatic are just like, well, great, you're finally playing our game. Come towards the A site. Come up lane. It's the hardest site. It's the hardest part of almost any map to try to take in the 5v5. We'll give it your best shot. We've been waiting our whole lives for this moment. And obviously, this kill makes it a lot easier. I mean, a great time, smoke shot into mid, just holding the entire time, literally getting bored. Maybe his finger got heavy. And he was like, all right, I'm just going to click now. But yeah, now Godsent are like, yeah, all right, we'll buy. And here's the point where it's like, well, if we go B, is this going to be a bit obvious? 3 at the top of Banana. Do they have the... No, they don't have the grenades to work with.
Whoa, deep molly. It's gonna... You just said they don't have the grenades to work with, and that was one of their last 2 smokes. Burnt in order to dodge the molly damage. Frag sails past. I don't know, dude. Tech 9s and Mac 10s have scared me lately. There's a world where Godsent managed this. Stiko off of the peak. They're just going to try to trade train Stiko with a team kill in the mix of it all. And low HP on 2 of the remaining 3. Crims unsuspecting to Crystal. Jumps off the top rope, hits him with the elbow. And Brolin's down for the count. Godsent in with the clutch. Godsent working with minimal tools there at the top of Banana. But you know what tool they used most? You know what tool looked real good? Explosiveness and certainty. They just charged in, didn't hesitate, didn't try to elaborately rotate back or anything along those lines. They got back to what was working early. Straight up B hit. 14 rounds apiece, 2 to go.
Couldn't have put it better myself. And that's a round where Fnatic, they stack the 3 towards B. They're trying to set this net to see if that comes again, and it does, and they still can't stop it. As you mentioned, it can be some of the scariest things to see. Tech 9 and Mac 10 on your screen. More Banana players looking for a fight. Golden falls off of oranges, and there's nobody within the site. It's Flusha with a freaking UMP trying to lock this down. Some damage done to Zen, but they can still move up.
He's dodging the first flash, somehow manages through the smoke. The damage is so substantial. Brolin's Molotov into the mix as well. They've got the man advantage, but Farlick goes high yet again, cuts it down to the 2 versus 3. He did.
Flusha.
He absolutely
not even worried
did.
About the flank.
And they're not worried about the bomb plant yet either. Farlig's gonna double back. Oh no! It's close. Flusha finding him by surprise, swapping over to the AWP. And Madden, he is so outnumbered. He is so out-healthed. The Molly lands on his feet, and Fnatic have done it. All thanks to the big balls of Flusha. He throws himself through smoke. He blindly lines up the ump spray. Explain that. You just can't, man. Some people have Counter-Strike magic in their veins, and I can't help but feel like Flusha's one of them.
Man, Flusha had $5,100 before that round ended, and he bought a UMP again in round 29, and he gets 3 kills and does over 100 damage through the smoke.
Unbelievable scenes. It looks like some of that aggression may boil over to his teammates. JW feeling inspired here in the 30th round, sets that op up down mid, doesn't see anything for it. And even if he sees the best of what Godsent has to offer, that comes in the form of AK, Galil, and another Mac 10. That's it. Dwindling utility, but a very similar buy. Don't you dare forget to what we saw them break through this B defense with already. And it looks like they're going to try their hand once more. Mac 10 rounds the corner. Golden's coming up empty-handed at first, but he jumps up for 2 kills. Now, the big question is, can they wrap him through construction? Madden's got the first one, getting the better weapon, and Flusha goes down for free. 3v3. This round's anyone's to take. It's the flank from Banana. The flank from Banana gets Zico down low.
Oh, they can't. Denying that flank could win it. They've got 3 Molotovs. That means that Quad is screwed. Emo is screwed. It's going to come down to Farlig here, holding down construction side.
Who's going to land the shot? JW. Oh, through the new box. Madden back in with a headshot versus Brolin. Both of these T's over back behind coffins. Bombs tick so far gone. Another kill comes in, but Farlig's empty-handed. Fnatic, they're scrambling for the bomb. They jump on top of it. It's gonna come close, but they've got it. 16-14 on Inferno. This one goes the distance. It's fighting for their life at DreamHack Masters, but Fnatic will gun for the reverse sweep. We have to go to train, and I don't want to waste anybody's time. Let's just call an end to this. We'll be back after the break with the analysts and then train to decide whether Fnatic goes home or if they keep fighting for tournament life.
Flashbang's affected. They have got through the smoke wall here, but Chris J, he is the final boss of the bomb site.
Now Spitty and Chris J to keep Mousesports alive.
Oh, Chris! He's found 3. It's down to a 2-on-2. Chris, can he close this with an ace? Oh my God!
And they actually close this out. Boom, Chris.
Fantastic way to start, and no scopes on him himself. Absolutely saving Mousesports.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you gonna want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you gonna be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're gonna want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
No overtime this time around, but it got incredibly close. Fnatic sealed the deal on Infona with a 16-14 scoreline. But my oh my, it took some heroics from Flusher with that UMP in his hands. And Godsent so close, yet so far from sealing the deal in this series. Train will be the next map, but we got to talk all of this through because this was scrappy, this was madness, and this was still not the Fnatic that we know and love, but at least they got a win.
At least they got a win, and I guess that's the main thing they can take away from this map. It was by no means pretty. There was a few occasions where Fnatic did okay, especially in the first half. I feel they did some good mid-round calling. Flusher, of course, had some big moments in this game, but overall, you look towards Fnatic right now, just look at the scoreboard right here. Flusher with 125 ADR. If that's correct, that's absolute insanity, especially the last round here with the SMG was stunning. Fnatic right now, they're getting by being super, super bad compared to their own standard, whereas for Godsent, they're actually playing some decent Counter-Strike, I'd say, and that makes me a little bit excited, let's say like that, for the third map, because I think these two teams match up evenly at the moment, considering Fnatic is in a bad shape.
Yeah, they do indeed. And the map was so scrappy. It felt like at one point Godsent, like for example, the round where it was round number 25, it's a 4v3 for Godsent on the T side. They have banana control. They could have just gone for the banana take. Instead, one player peeks out the 3v3 right now. And with 20 seconds remaining, they try to fake that B bomb site, head towards A, 2 CTs waiting. There was no need for that. You're running into a bomb site where they didn't even check pit. If there was a player in pit, even one CT there, that's a round done and lost right there. I felt like they threw the round away. On the other hand, you have something with Crystal, for example, pulling off a diffuser right under the nose of JW. So, I mean, I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles, right, James?
Yeah, it's very back and forth. Sometimes a bit of luck on your side and sometimes not going your way at all. And, well, this was a stylish way to try and get the job done, right? You know? Yeah. You got to have some antics in there for sure when you got these type of players on the server. Oh, dear. Yeah, you hate to see it, right? He's like, oh, God, no. Last minute, doesn't understand what's going on. But when it comes to this train game, guys, what can we even begin to expect? Because Nuke, it went to overtime. It was still very close. Godsent managed to hold strong. Now we nearly potentially see an overtime, but Godsent couldn't quite manage to make it happen. Now we go on to train, and, well, Farley, he's hitting those AWP shots for sure, but JW's been back in form as well.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned Farley, because I think that's going to be a big win condition for Godsent. Of course, he is the new guy to the block. He still hasn't been implemented completely into the Godsent way of playing Counter-Strike, but he's been playing stunning so far, especially on Inferno right here as well, having multiple rounds where he was the defining factor there, Stade. A map like Train usually is a good one for him. He's been playing some solid Counter-Strike with Copenhagen Flames on that map. I remember a game in Road to Rio where he almost single-handedly took down Mousesports, at least tried to make it competitive. I think he was sitting at 29 or 28 frags while the rest of the team was down to 10 and 11. This man right here on your screen, he can do it. If he's playing well, I think Godsent has a realistic chance of actually beating Fnatic, which sounds ridiculous to say out loud, bro. What is going on with Fnatic?
I don't know. I think a lot of people want to know, especially Fnatic themselves, right? But Farley, I just want to add one more thing to this guy. He's got balls of steel. He has, he gives no respect. The way he's peeking in, he's going for peaks where if I'm a coach, if I'm in a game, I'm like, listen, please, if I have an offer, please don't opt that way. But Farley, he's looking to go for this dry peaks, unfavorable angles, and somehow he manages to land those shots and he escapes with it. It is mental. And if he pops off in Train, Fnatic, they're in for a world of hurt.
Yeah, we're going to see some stylish Train coming out because both teams can play it well, but who is going to be the victor of this series? This will be the deciding map between Fnatic and Godsent. It's time for us to hit a break, but when you come back, we'll get the conclusion of this epic series.
With a loss on Nuke in overtime, Godsent claw back on Inferno. Legends never die, Launders, or at least never without a fight. And I think that's what we got out of Fnatic in that second map. A fight to keep this one moving and to try and finish the reverse sweep here on Train. Tournament life for Fnatic only on the line. So they really have to pick up this series right here, right now.
I genuinely believe that they had more talent and better execution, but they lost to the experience. Fnatic knowing when to rotate, how to hold, being confident and calm, I think is what took it over the line as Godsent frantically tried to pick sites and struggled and nearly ran out of time and just couldn't put it together, but only at the end of the game.
Only at the end. Smoke already out from JW. Molotov from Flusha towards this A site, but they're trying to work their way around the Ivy. Very crucial opening kills being picked up. That's a frag versus T-Con and Pop Dog. Zen, white as all can be, saw nothing. Crystal into the mix. Empty-handed after just the one. Golden will be the only casualty for Fnatic, so a T-side pistol is good for the Swedes.
Yeah, Crim started out strong on Inferno. Flusha ended with 125 ADR, totally, vastly outshadowing his teammates. I think if the stats were correct, he had 125. I feel like the average of his teammates was around 60. So, and he was obviously a B anchor, critical component of it, and he's already keeping the pace high with a strong stat in the pistol. Fnatic, terrifying team to play against Train no matter what the era, no matter what the period, no matter what match, day, or time. It's just T-side is exciting for them, and it's just terrifying for the CTs. There's going to be a lot of lurks here, and hopefully a lot of Ivy presence. I think that's when it gets really scary for teams playing against Fnatic. Here, Brolin holding down the T connector with his Galil. We've got a bunch of CTs curdled up in the middle of the site, hanging out on the trains. You normally know they will be. It'll be flashes to shy them away from these positions. And in this case, with Sticko, it's just a peek. Elaborate smoke lineups come into play. Does that one go back 6?
Looks like it. Oh, Z. And yeah, okay, Ivy too. Whoa, Flusha just running in with the MAC-10. Doing what he does best. You were correct in the stat line, of course. 123 ADR, 1.49 rating for Flusha on Inferno alone. And yeah, the next closest ADR, 66.6 for Crims.
That's insane, because if 4 of your teammates have, well, yeah, maybe that too, but if 4 of your teammates have 60 or below ADR, it's like, how the hell do you even win the map? Like, that doesn't seem possible. Yeah, I mean, it has to be a razor thin margin, and you have to have a teammate that's going, like, going for that above exceptional grade. Crystal, he doesn't want to fall off. He's here to just kind of spot it, looks like. But yeah, it is just pistols once again. But it's Crystal's also got the Zeus. Could be cool.
Easy.
Here's an easy eco.
Easy versus just the pistols. Goodbye, Farlig. Crystal, where's that Zeus at? Trying to come back from Z. Deagle from Stiko. But Martin loses 3/4 of his health. Come on. Last time we saw Crystal with the Zeus, he did 76 damage. This time I want 100.
It would be foolish to walk into the connector after having already won outside. But we know Fnatic, they get bored. That's
true.
They need to have fun at all times. Oh, maybe.
You know, they've been addicted to this game for a very long time. They need the best quality of Counter-Strike to keep riding the high. Down goes Crystal. Like you said, they get bored. Golden decides to run into it. Stiko almost catching JW off guard. He's a little upset about that one. How dare you try? 3-0 the start for Fnatic. They have started off early on multiple maps across this series. Let's see if they can do one better than the 3-0. Buy up for Godsent. The op on Farlig.
Yeah, I mean, because they don't get kills, because they don't have any kills, they're actually low on grenades on this round. So they buy up, they're down to $0. They're limited on their utility belts. Fnatic don't really need to upgrade. And we'll see what the strat is going to be for the T's. It's a fast crush to outside and the UMP to get a first kill.
Damn, Stico never even had a chance. Walks in, and he is sent right back out. JW, speaking of going out, decides to walk out from Pop Dog. Madden is going to switch spots with him, and now there's a world where JW actually comes out with some kills. Oh my god. Go.
He's kind of got to go quick. What? Zen stopping everything inside of Z.
You just can't catch him.
His teammate knows.
Oh, just the nick of time. Brolin, the whole while sitting on that bomb site. What happened on the B site? We don't know, because the most important thing was finding out whether or not JW
absolutely follow that. There's an observer. The observer switched out at any moment. That could have been the moment where you missed the kill, but there was just too much. There's just too many angles where one player got away with just like a second's notice. That's so funny. I am shocked that JW was able to flank into ladder. I wonder if he was going to sit in that smoke and then just walk into ladder after at the hope. He was lucky enough to hear someone like kind of running into ladder, but I wonder where his path would have taken him if he didn't hear anything. Maybe JW doesn't even know the answer to that question.
I don't know. He definitely got drawn to the flank like a moth, and it worked out well. Fnatic 4-0, so whatever mysterious outcome unfolded on that B site, we'll get it in the replay. I'm hoping. JW, let's see, Crims, nice long distance kill. That created space for Flusha to sprint forward. And then JW locking down Madden. There was like, a second sooner, and there's a world where Madden actually hits Brolin. I mean, he definitely would have had JW screaming in his ear that there was a player coming down ramp, but he really let him walk out on his leash. Madden thought he was out having a great time, thought nobody could stop him. JW clearly the boss.
Never fun to get stalked, I'm sure. Aggressive Molotov, and it's back to pistols once again. How many kills do we have now? We only had 1 after the pistol. I think we had 3 on that round. I think we have 4 in total in these first 4 rounds.
You are correct.
From Godsent.
There's the 5th for the entirety of Godsent. Zen's wallbang headshot versus young Brolin.
Did he save it? Did he save the op? It was an elimination round last round, right?
Hold on, I'm in game. Let me double check. I think you're right. Bomb explodes. No, 1 survivor. Yeah. There was an op save.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
We literally didn't know what happened except for that JW got the flank. I didn't look up away from the kill feed. I saw nothing other. I was as tunnel visioned as he was.
Okay. Yeah, so this one threat of the op is obviously what is holding back all of the execution from the T side. They want to be a bit more careful. Flush Up will now make headway out through ladder. JW flanking Ivy. And again, this Ivy presence is what's really, really annoying and hard to stop. And he is not going to stop pressing W. He'll come pick that op up later. And Crystal will fly out to try to deny a plant, but there is no kill. Op gets picked up, traded back to the T side. The rebuys will come in. And a decent attempt to the hold, relatively lackluster overall, considering the op couldn't have more impact. 5-0, and yeah, so we're up to 5 kills in total for Godsent, which means the money is very high for Fnatic. Lots of money here. JW already crossing 10K.
Gonna have to start making investments.
Okay.
Ooh, investing in this one with an opening kill. Oh my god, just burns him alive. Well, rather burns him dead. Little smoke at the top of the ramp. Mismatches the timing. That still works out for the trade frag. Brolin, 5 kills, 1 death, and a B site that is his. Fnatic, rock solid start here to the T side. JW is just having a field day. He's hippity hopping across the map, swinging the scope, having a blast.
It's carefree. So it's kind of an unimportant kill in some regards. Thicko is probably going to save no matter what. But yeah, it's a kill that Godsent don't get once again. Just 1 more kill in this round. Fnatic have had the most clean start you could possibly ask for at this point. So what do Godsent want to try? Well, they've got an eco one more time, so maybe they'll get a bit better at that. Really don't know how Farlig loses that. JW was so confident in getting that Ivy pick. He went by himself. Usually people bring in the whole phalanx to try to get one kill on Ivy, and JW is like, yeah, I'll just go dismantle the defense alone. You guys can work on some other stuff. It's immense impact, even if he doesn't get a kill, holding their attention all by himself.
Oh, gun out. Oh, recovers. Recovers very well, all things considered. That could have been a huge opening. Flusha was a little bit more preoccupied with going down the ladder, so maybe they kill Crims, take his gun, and start swinging it around the map, but it's just the one frag from Zen. He was in the one-and-done position. JW ops him down. Fnatic have started 7-0 on this T side.
I'd love for the interview with like Flusha to just be like, yeah, they never stood a chance. It'd be really funny if he said something like that.
I wouldn't be shocked. You know, sometimes they've still got that Fnatic confidence.
Yeah. Yeah, because this was almost 2-0 for Godsent. Crazy how things change from map to map. Yeah, Brolin on this pathing to just make sure to clear out the sandwich player. It's kind of cool. Just kind of makes a snake around out to E-Box and even meets it with a kill. Madden goes down outside. This makes outside a bit more tumultuous for the CTs. Rotations are already terrified, and there's more pressure out T-Con.
Brolin just starts holding W. Runs inwards. Another quick kill for him. Minimal HP lost despite his 2 entries. Farlig's coming around from the B side. Crims almost caught off guard by Zen. The only fatality versus Fnatic this round comes by way of Molotov. Golden maybe offering them a gift. Crystal and Farlig with the double snipers wanting to save most certainly. Oh, Crims goes dancing by Farlig, doubles back. He's having a field day as well. This is just an awesome start for Fnatic.
What else can you say about it? It's really fun to watch, that's for sure. I think what's cool with just that strat alone is they throw all the nades they could have used to do a full outside exec where people will fly through the sandwich smoke and they flash through it. But instead they just use Brolin to clear out anyone who's playing close aggressive outside. And then once he doesn't spot anyone playing close aggressive outside, well, he takes a peek for himself because they're limited on information. They have to cover some of the backs of the smokes, and it allows him to just get this opening kill really easily. It's obviously a clean headshot on top of that. But again, he's also isolating some of the future fights with that much information and map control. So they kind of safely escort him out through the smokes, these temporary walls, and use the information to get the round win. And yeah, another really bad loss from Godsent. They don't even get 2 kills.
Ooh, there's 2 players here though. Oh, nice. Farlig finally putting up some sort of a defense here. 1 saved AWP. They double up for the second sniper here, and Godsent have primed themselves to finally get around. And it would be really big for them to get this with the half buy of all things. It would really start kickstarting their economy, hopefully allowing for them to make the comeback happen. They cannot finish this CT side with more rounds. 8-7 best case scenario. And that's assuming they can finish this one off. Smoke goes down ramp. Farlig's attention turned to the top, but nobody on the shelf will be seen because the smokes are all over the place. There's a pistol within the bomb site. Farlig still just trying to find something to shoot at. Misses the shot close, so that gives Crims a chance to now allow for the bomb to go down. Farlig still hunting here, hasn't been able to find much. Flusha from above, in with another frag, but Madden shuts it down, and Godsent do it. The 2 snipers to start the round. Farlig with the multi-kill busts open the scoreboard. This second one just reading Golden as he shoots a couple shots. Nico throws himself into the fire. Wow, we didn't get to see that one. What a treat.
Yeah, he was at the bottom of the ladder and just timed his flank well, and because they're so low on numbers, they had no choice but to try to commit to the site. So not a bad start for Godsent to kind of, yeah, as you mentioned, kickstart their economy, but it's really going to be about winning a sustainable round as opposed to just one on an eco. And they might be able to show us how they can do that here. Good start for Madden to get a frag, and Flusha gets shut down trying to cross outside. Brolin still hanging out and around in the ladder, and JW, oh my god, that was scary for Crystal for just a moment. You always run the risk on the shoulder peek of dying to the full 100 HP shot off the shoulder, or just getting tagged down to a tiny amount of HP through the wall. Either way, it's not a happy place to be. Two ops could impose a serious threat to Fnatic if they want to try to default this way. And look, wow, Farlig actually got so much information. Not shy at all. Again, even if they're not overall playing well or down a lot, still happy to take the risks. I guess, what has he got to lose? Pushes out Ivy once again.
JW misses the op shot with that Z smoke. It's meant for the entries. Crims catching Crystal, tapping at a distance. Wow, he's managed another frag. He was looking really good as they came in on the entry last round towards this B site. He creates enough space for the bomb to be planted. Farlig takes the high ground. He's trying to walk forward here. There's nobody to actually keep him back on box halls. So, a missed shot is a chance now for Fnatic. They're scrambling back. Stiko labored spray, but he still gets the kill in. Zen, close sight already. And the low HP here for Fnatic's definitely not going to lend them a helping hand. There's already a defuse coming through, and Zen, he's just going to stick this. In the fire, in the flames, wins it all the same. Godsent finding their second.
Really good that they got on it right away. If they had even faked the bomb, that Molotov could have drawn out all of the time left on the clock to be able to win. It was already halfway gone, and yeah, they forced JW's hand there. So nicely done with the amount of players they had left over. Too many times we see teams really just work too hard to bait out the last two peaks when they have a man advantage and end up fluffing the round. So having him try to stick while his two teammates can watch upper and lower clearly was a good idea. Flesha getting hurt once again. He was taken out early in that last round. Godsent put two together, two in a row, which is sick for them. I know we got more of a real game on our hands already.
Farlig timed this peak properly. And he could pummel one back, but Crims, in fact, is already for it. Crystal, good trade frag. And JW gonna take some damage as well as he labors his way out ramp, met by the Molotov, just trying to get the information. Stiko on the flank denies Flusha another frag. And now Stiko's in a powerful playmaker position, tries to cut off Brolin from spawn. JW is peeled off of the B site because they have to deal with Stiko before they do anything else.
Oh, man.
What's he gonna do? He knows they're coming for him. Oh, JW nearly crouching underneath the shot. Brolin is able to trade with bomb now on his back. Imagine if Golden can get some sort of an opening off of Ivy. That would be huge, but there's also this world of possibility where Brolin's caught by Crystal over in the upper box halls. Not if he goes down ladder. If they pinch this A site, it could be huge. Madden just got past the vision of Golden. Golden walks out, gets the best of him. M4 Dink, not gonna be enough. And now Crystal never had a chance to shoot anybody down. Bomb's gonna be planted here at the 15-second mark. Can he clutch this? He's got the health advantage, but he doesn't know where they've gotten off to. One player up in the office. That's Brolin starting to take shots down to the headshot. Nice flick. Crystal announcing himself. Brolin dead to right. Peeks him from behind, gets the kill, gets Fnatic their 9th, 7-point lead, and a T-side back on track.
Oh, that's real tragic, but I think there is poetry in the fact that it's Ivy to help them back into the round. It's definitely an exploitable weakness, especially if Farlig dies or they don't push it early on, or that lurk comes in and becomes everything. But Stiko does so much work there at the top of the ladder to get the first kill, to deny the second from finding him as well. I mean, you'd think they'd have that one wrapped up.
Whoa. Another smoke frag. And the grenade to follow up. Oh my god, give him a chance, man. Golden just bombarding this A-site. Stiko with the noob tube up close. Gets the AK upgrade. Zen, he's being given targets to take down here with the op, but he gets too flustered by all the bodies hopping across his screen. 4 versus 2. Fnatic, they're about to take their 10th round. Double digits on the T side of Train, and they've only played 12.
And of course, the entry mantle changes hands as we have Golden take it from Brolin and play it a bit differently and be an equally difficult threat to deal with. What's curious is that he's fighting someone holding an angle on the smoke. Probably for Golden's specific peek, but for some reason, Golden is the only one that can see him. And off of falling back, he gets that kill. And then also the beautiful, well-placed grenade onto the middle of the bomb train really just wins the round on the A site. There's not much more you can do after that. 10 up now. And Godsent will take at least the guns they saved into this round, which is something. And I mean, that's just exquisite. Oh, looks like he doesn't stop either.
A little bit of outclassing on the A site. It's a tough one for Godsent. We saw them bounce back and give us a hell of a game after a lopsided CT side on Inferno. Do they have that ability in their back pocket on Train as well? They're very well going to need it, and that's assuming they can give us enough in this first half to even give themselves a chance. We could be looking at one of those maps where a second pistol round decides it all if they don't get more on the board. They still have grenades in this one. Stiko's going to be playing close smoke. Looks like he wants T-Con control.
Flash to support it, but Brolin's ready, and he knows there's someone up close as well. He heard another pair of feet. Oh, that's the heart spam through the wall. Stiko's like, you want to fight? This is metal, my friend.
And then Crim's one through smoke. Flusha making the best of the timing. Madden didn't see it coming. Crystal at a distance cut down, 11-2. Fnatic not taking their foot off the throat of Godsent right now. No reason. They're gasping for air at the end of this first half. 3 rounds, please, they beg.
Yeah, I don't think Fnatic are that gracious to care at all how Godsent feel. So yeah, they'll have to earn them, every single one. And we're obviously at the point where it doesn't really matter how bad your second half is. If you get the 12th, 13th, I mean, you could play bad and still win. JW entry out the ladder. Oh, it doesn't actually get the first kill. Instant 4-4 situation. They've made their way outside. Sandwich gets taken out. Farleg moves in. Try to see if he can help. But there's a regroup. I want to give Crystal some love.
Silent. Crystal, no slouch though.
Oh, look at this rotate. Everyone's in B now.
They're calling it out. It's just a matter of holding them back now. Single scout for Stiko. Flashbang on Crystal. Double deagles if needed. Mollies and flashes fall into the bomb site. A little bit of a stutter step towards ramp. Now they commit. Into the deagle they'll walk. Trying to line up the damage. He gets the one. Crystal trying to find cover. Back in for another attempt, but it's down that one train lane that the 3 CTs all die. And now 12-3, the best case for them. If they can somehow use this last buy to win out a round, it'd be huge. It could make a world of difference if they're going to make a comeback happen. It's looking dire, Launders, but it's not over yet.
Yeah, sure. We got to hold our breath all the time. I'm curious what the analysts are going to say. If this is really a stomp, I want to know what the desk thinks about Fnatic after this map. Like, it's probably as confusing for them as it is for anyone else. Like, how come you get 2 different versions of Fnatic even when they get their map pick or like 3 maps that they can play? How does it happen? How do these events transpire? This is the big question. Brolin first out to bat. Stiko first down. Wow. And Zen trades once again. But look at all this residual 8 utility damage.
Just kills across the feed here for Fnatic. 3 versus 2. Final round of the first half. Everybody for Fnatic on the other side of the train. Farlig, great kill. But can Crystal seal off the half with a very third round for Godsent? Peeks in, shuts down Golden, jumps onto the train. Sick movement, nearly hitting the flick, but he goes down to J-Dubs. 13 for Fnatic. Godsent limping into the second half, and it's not going to get any easier on the T side. Don't you dare move a muscle. We'll be right back. Tough stuff for Godsent. You can tell by the odds on screen. It's hard to believe in this T-side comeback after watching the dismantlement of Godsent on the defense. Fnatic coming into this third map with conviction. Crims and Flusha and Brolin and Golden and JW2. Everybody putting in the numbers. Everybody getting big kills. And everybody looking to shut down what was going to be the elimination upset. Godsent. Can you actually manage this comeback? It would be unfathomable. And yet, here we are, 4v4 in the second pistol, trying to get their feet towards the A site. Bomb has been slowed down outside of T-Con, but they've got the man advantage. A smoke grenade to counter the line of sight here for Crims. He gets the 1 kill, and they're trying to cool him off now.
I actually really like this pistol setup. Sticko's watching the flank, though, so I wonder if they know what the setup is. There's 3 in ladder, 1 went up. And one's working on this big flank, and as the rotation comes in, flushed up, will he take the duel and win straight up? No, Sticko's got him.
Yeah, Farlig now. Up at bat. Peeking off of the red train. Doesn't want to die. Doesn't want to give the opening that enables the CTs to sprint in, but that one's good. Sticko, though, a little bit too much to handle here. Making that P250 sting in the second pistol. Godsent have done it. A third round on the board. A little bit of momentum to start the T side with. Let's slowly work our way into this.
With confidence sapped, let's see if they even survive the second round. Pretty confident. I bet a lot of money that they end up buying here. Yeah, they're going to spend everything that they've got. Put together the 2-scout buy that we see is so common on Train. It works out really well. Tag one with the scout. Everybody else can kill them with 1 bullet. That's pretty much the name of the game. That makes B-site quite appealing, but obviously B-site's a little scary because the fast rotates. So Godsent will play the default to try to cause some confusion, see if they get any push kills first, and then they'll pick a site. Brolin's got T-Con control, very powerful position, even if they know you're here because they have to use a flash to get you out. And also, it's too big to molly, so you can actually kind of wait around. And dropping the smoke means they're going to have to respect it if they try to take outside. Ooh. And oh my god, they are not expecting that play whatsoever. An upgrade to the AK. Farley, he's dead.
Wow, JW scout shot on top of it. Fnatic, did they lose pistol on purpose just so that they could spit in the face of Godsent with this force buy? I mean, no respect, man. 5 players survive. That had to have been on purpose. Defuse comes through for Fnatic, 14-3. It is looking real good here on Train.
They can do no wrong, it seems. And yeah, it's what you expect after a half like that. It's Godsent who are going to be lagging behind on confidence comms, and just trying to figure out how to get through the easy rounds because they couldn't get through any of them in the first half. Nice play by Brolin. Cool to use that pallet that way and his own smoke. They maybe rushed it a little bit to try to kill him in the T-Con. Yeah, maybe a tiny bit. It's not like they had 5 smokes, right?
Right. There was a weird grenade as well there for Godsent. It kind of bounced off the wall and then it like landed on Brolin still, but also on the T's as they tried to push through. Very awkward scenes there inside of the T-Con, but hey, that round's done. And we move along. JW, he's going to take some damage on the Galil. Has to be cautious here. There's just the 2 scouts in combination with the pistols. Crims hears the scope, very quickly cutting down Madden. But Ivy, my eyes fall on Ivy. It is so compromised in the moment. Zen, he just creeps right out, but he's got the Tech 9. So it's a Tech 9 versus MP9, and the SMG prevails. But there's another player behind them in Farlig. He's gotten all the way over towards Old Bomb. He's sniffing out CT spawn. He can't find anything. And Crystal, oh my god, changes places with Brolin, who then comes back inside of T-Con. What is happening?
I don't know.
Where are they?
I really don't know.
Who are they?
That's a good question. Crystal, well, okay, now they're both facing each other, not realizing all the positional transactions that have transpired in Farlig. At least he'll get the knife kill, $1,500, baby.
Yeah, cash money. But he's got way more ahead of him. 25 seconds, 4 targets to take. It was worth going all the way around town to come back for the backstab. I like it. A little injection of cash here, but they are going to be playing versus 12 map and match points. A daunting task versus any team, let alone the likes of a fired up Fnatic.
But they can do it, right?
Always believe.
Okay, always believe. Initial incendiary to the T-Con. T set up towards, it looks like B. Fnatic, they will sit and wait. No pushes whatsoever. They have no reason at all to go farther than they need to. T-Con's always kind of safe to take, and it's funny because Brolin's doing it without a flash, just kind of meandering in. And Zen's already down kind of low far leg, one of the only guns in the round. The only gun, in fact, for Godsent has already been wiped out and locked down. They can't trade this out, pick that up. And the last person you want to get into a smoke spam fight with is this guy right here.
Yeah, Flusher, he lives for the smoke. There goes Crystal. Try to charge him down. I mean, this one, stick a fork in it. Shove a knife in it while you're at it. Just get them out of here. Godsent never stood a chance here on map 3. A very lopsided T side to the favor of Fnatic. They're playing with their food. They've got knives out. Oh my God.
Grim smiles for the first time in the series.
Oh, they worked for it. They are going to have it down. In classic Fnatic fashion, we finish on train. I mean, that first half spelled disaster for Godsent. And what a wild situation. I mean, overtime in map 1. And then the 16-14 Fnatic hold in the second map. God, Godsent had them by the throat, but Crims poked them in the eyes. And just like that, we arrived in a map 3 blowout to the favor of Fnatic. They were this close to being eliminated and being sent home. Now it all hinges on that Spirit versus Godsent match. Who knows what's going down in the bottom of this group, but we know that Fnatic are not shipped out just yet. Folks, we're going to send this one to a break, be back with the analyst desk, and then we'll have our North American Counter-Strike action starting with 100 Thieves versus Gen G. We'll see you guys there.
Hey, it's me, Lily from AT&T. I'm back, working from home, and here to help.
Hey, Lily, I'm hearing a lot about 5G. Should I be getting excited?
Depends. Are you gonna want faster speeds?
I will.
More reliability?
Oh, also yes.
Better response times?
Definitely.
Are you gonna be making sourdough bread?
Oh, is that 5G related?
No, it's just like, why is everyone making sourdough now? But yes, you're gonna want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
There's no other boy or girl, no one in this whole world like us. We're unique. Millions gone and still to come, but there will only be the one with your special mystique. Just tell anyone who asks, you're unique. You're unique. There will never there's destiny written in your blood. Every single molecule knows that it's a part of you, growing from a seed of love.